the fuck?
I don't know.
Is that Pickles? I'm gonna have to mute this guy.
He's trying to be Nicolas Cage.
Oh, he's muted already, so perfect.
Yep.
He's
Can't hear nothing you say.
Nah, that was me, man. I was trying to hold my shit together until I noticed Pickles over there on fire and shit. I was like, oh, no way, he ain't doing that shit. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. I was rude. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You're lucky. Just want to say what's up to the people in chat. Dandelion Fluff, Shifty Gizm, Nindroid, Bees Nest.
You're frozen.
JJ,
Obviously.
listen, it's not your fault.
I'll be right back. Chris, finish talking about your channel, and then Danny, you go. Be right back.
Damn, Monzo just struck a pose.
Yeah. So, yeah. Real Review 3000 and also here, Chaos Central, 3 shows. Chaotic Conversation on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chaos List here on Big Ford Entertainment, 9 p.m.
My
Eastern
StreamYard
Standard
froze
Time.
up. Sorry, Chris, I'm going to interrupt you. My StreamYard froze up. I'm refreshing.
You're never gonna finish Chris tonight.
Dude's like, God damn.
You're not even on screen. How does it matter if you froze up? You heard. It's like, what the hell?
But
I wonder what's wrong with all these weird.
All right, you know what? You know what?
Chris intro take 2.
No, we're gonna go. I'm gonna start from the very beginning since I keep getting interrupted.
Absolutely.
And you guys get to deal with it.
How about it?
Real Review 3000 got channel memberships now. Here,
Look at this. And look, I gotta go get Eli.
Chaos
back.
Central.
There we go.
Chaos Central is where you can find me also here Mondays. Chaos Conversation 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Danny's channel Comic Chat. Tuesday here Chaos List 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Big Ford Entertainment, and then Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I gotta remember because I gotta think in your guys' way. It's like
the best time Eastern, not that Central.
Whatever. No, everything's Central.
No.
Anyways, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Chaos List tomorrow night, and check that out. Besides that, though, thanks as always for having me here. I think tonight's going to be an interesting show because I've seen some of the questions, and
it is. Unfortunately, I didn't use the sports questions because not everybody in here is into sports. But I picked up a little ones over here and there that I was looking at. Plus, I plan to go a little bit longer. If you guys want to stay, you can. If you have to do something, no problem. But I ain't got really nothing to do after the stream, so I'm going to stick on. And then I have those other questions if people want to go through those ones. Danny, Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
I'm Danny, AKA Comic Chat. Right below me is what happens when you talk shit about Endgame. You bust into flames, spontaneous combustion. That's what happens.
Fire,
I tried
bro.
to tell him, man, we talking shit about Thanos, but he didn't listen. So now his ass is burning. Anyway, several shows. Last night we went through our top 50 villains. I think we 20 through 11. Next week will be the top 10, which I'm very interested in hearing what people got to say on that. Tonight, of course, we're here on Khaos List. Tomorrow we'll be on the Rule of Three. Later on this week, we'll be on Square One. And going to be back from Planet Solo. We took a week off for Thanksgiving. We'll be back with Chris's selection of the guitarists of the week. So a lot of shows, a lot of content. We appreciate any subs that you give us. Please hit notification bell because we don't want you to miss any material that any of us upload. And just thank you for being who you are, what you are, and supporting us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. JJ, you're up.
Do you really need me to talk right now?
Yeah, he's on his machine right now.
Okay, no. I'll pass you if you can. It's no problem.
I got greedy, man.
I'm the one that's supposed for smoking.
It's okay, man. I know the feeling.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. Whew. Boy, it kind of grabs you by the boo-boos, don't it?
That was hard on your lungs, eh?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit of everywhere. Sunday nights, you can find me twice on Chris's and once on a good friend of mine, Han Star. He does Name That Tune, and on the bi-weekly, he also does a Jackbox game night. You find me Monday nights on my channel for randomness at its finest, my weekly live stream, random panel, random topic. Come by, check it out, like, share, subscribe. You know all the fun stuff that goes with that. Tuesday night, you find me here with these fine gentlemen. Love hanging out with these guys every week. I look forward to it all the time. Like, share, subscribe. Everybody here, ring that bell. It ain't no problem. You can do it. Take a second. Thank you. Ding, ding. And then lastly, you can find me on Twitter. Well, no, Thursday nights on Chris's also. Man, I just hang out at Chris's place. You know, he has all the fun toys. But anyway, for sometimes on the Weekly Rumble. And then you can find me on Twitter at Sithlord3827. Great to see everybody. What's going on?
Doing good, man. Glad to have you guys here again, once again. And Gaishka, talk about your channel, bro, since you
I got it up. Nothing on it yet, but our streams and stuff. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. That's in the chat. Hit that like.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. Just fucked me up there. So, yeah, I created the Basco Scenario. My channel, my first show is going to come up next month. I'm just getting everything ready to get that going. Just want to say thanks to Onzel. You can find me on Onzel's, and thanks for that. You can follow me at Comic Chat. You can find me at Chris Knights. And thank you.
No problem, man.
I'm going to get you back.
I appreciate you coming on again today. And now, the man that's on fire, the man that Danny said should not have disrespect. Endgame, Pixels.
I'm on fire because of what I said. All right? Let's just get that straight.
I think you're
Pixels.
missing the horns.
Yeah, for real.
They're coming. They're coming. The horns are coming, dude.
There's no smoke there.
Yeah, the
I'm Scorpion, baby. What's up? What's
That's
up?
fake news. Fake news.
I'm on fire, baby.
Wait,
watch out tonight.
Did you hear me? Fake.
Even the Phantom Zone won't put me out.
Want to bet?
I see no fire.
Still on fire, baby. Still on fire. What's up?
Yeah,
Flame on, brother.
If you want, you can stay on fire in the Phantom Zone. I'm more than welcome to do that.
You know they sell cream for shit.
Yeah, the
like
smoke.
That, right?
Listen, Onzo, listen to me. The smoke, the flames from him, it's burning JJ, and the smoke from JJ and all the stuff he smokes is coming up here. It's getting a little.
You need to enjoy that smoke.
It's a contact high.
You
Chris,
need to enjoy that smoke, Chris. It might bring your ego down a bit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
No, it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
right.
Man, me don't know, man.
Probably make
That
it
smell
worse.
ratchet.
Finish up.
we good
Pickles.
now?
Yeah, go ahead. Finish up.
Oh, you mean start? I'm sorry. You meant
Start, finish.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we
well,
go.
either or.
LDG Pixels, guys, just finished up a waiting room over in the Pixelate channel, guys. You have any tech issues, computer problems, you own a Mac, any issues at all, guys, that's what LDG Pixels is for. Hit me up. I do free tech work. I do free graphic work, doing intros, super chats, whatever. A person to use as a resource if you have any questions, how to use this, how to do that. I even do my work live on the air. You get to see somebody use top-end production software and do the work that I do. Also on Pixelate, where I host the waiting room. The waiting room is a place, a stream between the streams. We get to hang out, kick your feet up. I do open panels. I do watch parties. I play video games. I do whatever the hell we want to do and promote those channels who deserve it. Kick you out. Go let you watch them and then come back and hang out. That's LDG and LDG Pixels and Pixelate. Thanks, guys.
No problem. And last but not least, Mr. Elihu, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
I'm always last but never least because I can be found everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And sometimes in between. But every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific time, which is Pacific, the best time, you can catch me on my show live where it's called What's Up With the Universe, where we talk astronomy, astrophysics, science. Tomorrow we're talking about Hubble and its many wonderful discoveries. And I can also be found sometimes on JJ's channel, LDG's channel. Where else am I? I'm everywhere and nowhere. So
this channel.
That's
you're
right.
here now.
This channel. This channel.
My channel.
Lay off a little bit.
Yeah, Chris, you must be getting a contact high if you thought that actually needed to be said. Of course he's on this channel. What the hell?
He didn't seem to know that though. I was helping him along there because he's trying to figure out what channels he's
JJ.
on, and I'm like,
JJ, put it out. Just put it out. You're getting him way too contact high up there.
Oh, that was just my cigar, man.
Wow, he's a lightweight then.
Damn
I
right.
can be found on Jedi Bill 757's Insomniac Soup. If anybody's insomniac and can't sleep, check out Jedi Bill because Chris's ego can't even fit in his box. Look at that. And Danny, I'm really looking forward to that to your tip bill in chat. I hope Chuck from Supernatural makes that list. Yeah, Alonzo.
several
No problem.
supernatural people have made the list.
I don't think that's going to make it on my list.
Do appreciate you guys coming on, like I said, once again. And we're going to start this up. As you guys know how the show goes, we have 3 main topics we talk about. But again, I always got to start with some honorable mentions. You know what I mean? I was thinking about them today. I didn't really get much, kind of busy, was doing some stuff, but I did come up with a few. So the first honorable mention that we have today is, oh, nope, wrong one. My bad.
That's a bonus topic.
That is a bonus topic. That's probably what it'll be for later. Yeah, here we go. I got this one here. Usually I have this stuff all set up and ready to go, but yeah. Hey, this one's about me.
Danny, take care, man. Do what you gotta
Later.
Danny, gotta go?
Yeah, we gotta
All right, Danny.
Yep.
Danny.
All right, Danny, take care, man.
Later.
Shit.
Hope everything is okay with that.
Yeah.
Why the hell is this not
man.
popping up?
Wow.
Sorry, guys. Just give me a second while I fix this up. All right, here. Yeah, I'm messing up today, unfortunately. And for some reason, it's still not showing it. Okay. Now let's try this. They updated the Mac, and I hate to say it, but there's one part of the update. There's one part of the update that I don't like. You know,
What's that?
Yeah.
Which part?
When I'm trying to open up my pictures and stuff, right? When you click on it, when you pick on it, it comes up to a big screen. It doesn't open up in a private screen. So then when I go to share my screen, it gives me some bull crap.
Mine doesn't do that. I got Big Sur.
There we go. Finally got it up here. Honorable mention number 1. Now this one is from Chris, I believe. Didn't see who sent it. But Chris was like, well, Anzo admit that he's slowly becoming a Mandalorian fan. And for me to answer that question is I never said I wasn't a Mandalorian fan.
Was it just this season? Because you said you were like, because I asked you at the beginning of the season, I was like, you want to come on the Mandalorian Roundtable? And you're like, no, man, no.
Yeah, actually, it was just this season, just things this season that I liked. But the last couple of episodes, man, I can't even complain about. Those things were fire. So,
all right.
And unfortunately, Danny had to leave, but I'm gonna bring it up anyways.
Oh, that's wrong.
Huh?
That's
know,
wrong.
Right?
Save it.
I know, right? But no. And this was on the topic yesterday. So
hell yeah.
Was, do you want to see Danny Graham lay the smack down on some corrupt cops?
Oh yeah.
And I would say,
Oh, man.
Make a YouTube video about
His
it.
20 through 11 yesterday, every other one, not every other one of them, like almost every one of them was a corrupt cop from a movie.
yes, it was. It was hilarious.
That's funny.
It was hilarious. So I always said, I'll give him an honorable mention. Honorable mention number 3. Oh, Lord. This one has to go with my homeboy, Chris Knight, since he got me with one. And honorable mention number 3. Do you want to see Chris Knight? Oh, shit, I wrote it wrong. Do you want to see Chris Knight leave LDG the fuck alone and learn how to fix his damn PC problems his damn self?
Hey, I've fixed a lot of it. I've fixed things. I've figured out things. Just yesterday was stupid and stuff. But hey, you know what?
It's like once a week you show up on.
You know what? I show up every Monday, whether or not. I mean, he has some projects he's working on for me and stuff. But like yesterday, I was just on there.
You were just chilling. You didn't ask no questions.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think he did. No, he hung out. He hung out.
Most Mondays when I come on there, he may be working on something for me. But if I don't have something, I just sit there and let everybody else kind of talk and stuff. And sometimes I get involved. Sometimes I'm just there to hang out. And while I'm working and
he's
stuff,
he's a fast learner. He's a fast learner.
When's Pickle stream? I'm like, well, it's Monday. It should be like about an hour or so. You were late yesterday.
Got you.
Yeah,
well, still, I think you still need to leave his ass alone.
Nah.
Now we'll get into the meat of the show, which is the topics. And the first topic is the Jedi. Now, the creator of Star Wars himself, George Lucas, was at first-hand witness to the live-action debut of Ahsoka Tano on the set of Disney Plus show The Mandalorian, having previously only existed in the animated show Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. The character's appearance on the hit Disney Plus series caused great excitement among the fandom and was portrayed by Rosario Dawson. Now, do you think George Lucas had his hands in this episode, or do you think he was just there to witness it? Chris Knight, start us out, my friend.
I still don't buy that George Lucas actually has his hands in anything. I think he's there. I think if Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau kind of lean over to him and says, hey, what do you think of this? He'll give his opinion. He'll be like, yeah, I like the way it looks. It looks good. But I think if he's there when he's on set, I think he just sits back and enjoys not having to do that stuff that he used to have to do. That's why he sold it. He didn't want to have to do it. It's kind of enjoyable now that he can kind of just stop in. It's like going to your old high school. You know, you don't have to work there anymore.
It's like a hobby.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd have no doubts that if they ask him questions or ask for his input, he will do it. But if they don't, he's just sitting there chilling, just saying, hey. You know, I mean, I guess I could see that if he thought that they were absolutely just fucking something completely up, he probably would say something.
Mm-hmm.
If I were you, I'd probably not do that because of this, and this. But I don't know. He's such a quiet person. People don't understand that. He's a very quiet, laid back person. Listen to the interviews with Mark.
He seems like an introvert, you know.
He is. If you listen to the the old interviews with Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford. Stronger, faster, more. Stronger, faster, more. I don't know. You can type in. There's 3 words he would tell them every time, and that's the only 3 words he would ever direct them with. He just doesn't go out of his way if he doesn't have to. I don't think so. No, I don't think he has his hands in it. I'm certain that if they ask, he gives his opinion.
Got you. Gashka, go up, man. Talk about it. What do you think?
I think it was all Dave Filoni. That was classic Rebels, Clone Wars. I think he did a great job. And Rosario Dawson, for me, nailed it. Even her she had like little expressions that she did that was pure Ahsoka from the animations, and just the way her mannerisms, right? I just think George being there, I agree 100% with Chris on it. He's just enjoying it now. He's sitting back. If he's asked a question, he'll help out. But it's being retired. Actually, he is retired. You're not doing that job anymore, and you're there as a consultant, right? If they ask you a question, you give your 2 cents. That he might have spoken up, for a few episodes in the past. Absolutely, I think that if they have him there is for a reason, right? I'm sure he's there because he's also invited to be there for exactly that, to have that extra, person reference. What do you think?
I mean, that beginning scene to me, I think he might have had his hand in that little lightsaber battle, at least a little bit with it. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure he's sitting there, and maybe he's not giving his input, but I can guarantee you, Dave Filoni is asking him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
JJ, what do you think?
I agree. I'm almost willing to put money on it. He was there the majority of the time because Dave Filoni has always had George's ear. Always, even after the sale.
Yep.
And all Dave has to say is, "Hey, man, you want to come hang out for a little bit? Sure, why not? Just hang out, check things out. If he gives input, then if not, then." But even though I have my own beef with the episode, the actual, the way the character was portrayed, the way the action scenes played out, I seen hints of George in there. I'm not saying he'd be responsible for all of it, but his hands are in it, and I guess that's what's making everybody look, starting to look a little bit more upward. I know we need more of the Mandalorian, and we actually need a show about the Mandalorian instead of about everybody else. But yeah, man, yeah, George. I can almost guarantee that George has been there a lot.
I think he definitely had something to do with it. Elihu, what do you think?
I think this episode was 100% Dave Filoni. It was basically his style. This is what he was hired to do, bringing Ahsoka to live action. He completed that 100%. I believe he accomplished it. Rosario Dawson was an amazing actress in this performance. I mean, George Lucas on the set, yeah, he's not a technical advisor. He was just hanging out. If somebody asked him, "Hey, George, what do you think about that?" He might say, "Yeah, I like it, I didn't like it," and they may take that into consideration for a reshoot or something. But when he shows up on set, he's just there to hang out and just watch everything. I mean, when he was on set season 1, people didn't know that he was actually on set until that little picture came out with him and Goku. Okay, Baby Yoda for all the other obsessive nonsensical people. For Goku, but it was a fuzzy photo because he was just quickly holding it and trying to avoid people trying to take a picture of it. But I forgot who actually got the picture, and people realized, oh wait, George Lucas is actually on the set of Mandalorian. Wow, he actually has an input. He actually likes this thing. Because if George Lucas didn't like Mandalorian, he wouldn't bother hanging out there. He can say yes or no if he wants.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I don't think he would. I don't think he would hang out there if he wasn't really feeling it. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. Plus, him and Dave Filoni are close. So I think if Dave Filoni's like, hey, George, come check this out, what we're doing with Ahsoka. And George and Dave Filoni had both their hands into making Ahsoka. So it's like his baby too, but Star Wars is his main baby. But Pickles, what do you think?
I think maybe the fans, the fandom has finally got it into them that they better not F up anymore. And they brought him on as damage control. I don't think they're listening to him. I think that they have him around just in case they screw up. And he says, well, if you do this, it's gonna break canon. It's, you shouldn't do things this way. You guys are forgetting about this, that, and the other. As far as like damage control, as far as screwing up their own plot, their own story. But can someone be there because he doesn't want to be there? Of course. Money talks. Maybe they paid him extra to be there. I don't know. Maybe it is just the fact that he's there with his buddy and just hanging out. I have no clue, but I would most likely think that they had him on as like I said, just damage control to make sure that they don't screw up or miss some kind of detail, or I don't know, have somebody in their jeans and shirts shot in the background, and just keep things going as an eyes that actually knows the story and what's supposed to be.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Like I said many times, I mean, if they want to make Star Wars like on the right path, they have to get some sort of input from George Lucas, say, okay, this is what we're doing. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? They don't have to take his advice, but at the end of the day, what you guys were doing wasn't really working. You know what I mean? So why not try something different? You can't expect the same result. You can't expect different results doing the same thing over and over again. So that's how I feel about it.
I think the biggest issue was that
I'm getting taken up in my speakers. I can't hear you guys for a minute. Sorry.
Okay. I think the biggest issue was, I think when he sold it, I don't know how much of a consultant he was supposed to be, but I have a feeling he was under the impression that they would come to him for consultation. I say it all the time. I don't think he got screwed over. Everybody says, oh, he got screwed over. They didn't use his treatments. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. You know what? He knew when he signed that line, whatever happened after that point, he couldn't be mad about, because they weren't really contractually obligated to him for anything. It probably said, hey, we can call you if we need you. We can do this. We can do that. I think the reason why he has distanced himself almost completely from Star Wars is for one person. And that's Kathleen Kennedy. Because I think he thought that she would be able to handle it. One, two, that she would honor something that she had worked side by side with him on for a long time. And when she flushed so much of it down the tubes, when she called the Force female, like literally genderized it, and I know that's probably not a real word, but I'm making it a word, genderized it. He probably shut off and said, screw it. That's not that. Yeah. And I hate using this term, but he probably said, that's not my Star Wars.
Yeah, you know what? And I can agree with that, because if you watch that interview with him and Kathleen Kennedy, she's sitting there and she's saying, yeah, you know what we need to do is honor the story and honor the characters that George Lucas created. And she did none of that.
Exactly.
She did none of that.
That bitch is crazy.
She is. Crazy cake.
And Dan 200TF said, Rosario Dawson did an amazing job as Ahsoka. Great casting thanks to Dave Filoni and the fans. I definitely agree with that. I think the casting was good. A lot of people were worried about it. I wasn't too worried about it, but man, when she spoke, she sounded like Ahsoka.
Yeah,
she really did, man. She really did. I went back and watched a few episodes of the Clone Wars, and I was like, yeah, it's similar. It's not the same, but there's a similarity.
But how many years after Rebels is this? 7?
Something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
Rebels bleeds into the original trilogy, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean,
it does.
So you're talking 7 some odd years. So there's going to be, you get older. If she's been out in environments and things like that, your voice changes, raspy or whatever. I mean, but it was not that different. You're right. And
right, exactly.
Again, when we did this on the Mandalorian Roundtable, we were nitpicking little things about her, but nothing that really mattered completely.
Right.
I agree. Like, she did an amazing job. She was good. So if they do an Ahsoka series, I'm definitely down for that. I will watch that.
I'm going to give it a chance. Of course, I'll give anything like that a chance. But
They need to get that headrest some work, though.
They probably will.
Or they'll explain why it's the way it is.
Yeah, they'll probably put some more work into it, right? Dan 200 TF said, "This is why The Mandalorian succeeds while the sequel trilogy fails. George Lucas is on set in The Mandalorian while he wasn't in the sequel trilogy."
Actually, he was.
Yeah, he was.
For which one though? Only Force Awakens.
Nine.
Oh, yeah, that's what they say. George Lucas was on the set for 9. Yeah. He was on the set for 9.
I don't buy it. I there's nothing I have found that placed him there. I think that was a complete rumor to get people on board with it, thinking he had something to do with it. You think for a second George Lucas would have been on set for that crap piece?
Well, there is a rumor that he did have an edit.
There's rumor that there's a Lucas cut. There's not.
Yeah.
Trust me,
no, there's not.
Lucas. No. There's a rumor that there's a Lucas cut. There's an Iger cut. And JJ cut, Kennedy cut, and they said how they.
Unfortunately,
listen, you can cut a piece of shit up any way you like it. It's still a piece of shit.
Well, let me counter that. Right? Wasn't the original Star Wars said to be a piece of shit until it was edited by his wife?
No. That way he cut it.
Snyder cut. Thank you.
Now listen. There are people who know how to cut steak. Go to a steakhouse that knows how to serve a steak right. They know how to do it. You go to the Sizzler, they don't know how to do it. That's a little different. It was a steak. You just had to give it to the right chef to know how to do it right.
Okay.
Hey guys, on Twitter.
What's that?
Oh, telling guys to check his DM on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dan 200 TF said again, not only that, but we have people like Dave Filoni who actually know the grand scope of Star Wars, which is absolutely correct. Because when you watch that documentary, like I only watched up until his episode where he has that little speech at the end. And when he's talking about Star Wars and everything, like it sounds like he's channeling his inner George Lucas. You know, so
he was taught by George Lucas.
Inner George Lucas.
He's George's heir apparent.
Yeah, he's George's apprentice. You know what I mean? So, I mean, for me, he knows Star Wars better than anybody else right now. So, Shifty Gizm said, we actually knew the month before Mando even premiered, Lucas was involved as spoilers leaked about him and what became Baby Yoda. I actually never heard any rumors about him being on the set, but
there's pictures of him. There's pictures of him on the set, but again, I don't think that means he's involved. I just think he's there. I think he comes like his. I mean, Dave and him. Okay, so you look at it this way: of everybody that's left in Lucasfilm, as far as I know, only Filoni is left from when it was under George's.
No.
Well, let me put it this way. The big people, Ben Burt left, the sound guy, a lot of those big effects guys and stuff, they went to other places.
But Doug Chang stayed.
Yeah. And Filoni stayed. And so they have the insight to how Lucas used to do it. So does Kennedy, but Kennedy has used it as a platform to do what she wants to do. So I think, again, that because of that connection with him and Filoni, and you know the Clone Wars stuff. I mean, I'm sure he was with them the whole time they were doing the Clone Wars stuff too. I mean, that was his baby. That was his baby. When he wanted to do the cartoon, he wanted to do all that because of his kids and things like that, and that was his baby. So I think he finished that out with them somehow, some way. I don't know what his involvement would have been, but I'm sure he had something to do with that too.
I agree. And Dan 200 TF again said, Dave Filoni redeemed himself with this episode, considering he directed episode 5 of season 1, The Gunslinger, which was an okay episode, but definitely the weakest episode from season 1. Yeah, you're right, because I barely remember the episode. But I mean, like Chris said, Ahsoka is his baby, so he's gonna make sure he writes her right, acts her right, and everything is perfect for that episode, right? So I can guarantee you. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, if you think about it, it was the first person associated with the Jedi Order we actually saw walk away from the Jedi Order on screen. I mean, yeah, cartoon, but we hadn't seen that. I think that was an interesting thing, and I think that was something he intentionally wanted to do, is show someone who didn't go from the light to the dark side, who just said, "No, I don't agree. I'm not into this."
Absolutely.
But still was a Force user and stuff. It gave us a whole nother look into how this all works.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I believe that George Lucas was on this set, because he wanted that episode to be correct. Like I said, he may not have had the input, but I guarantee if Dave Filoni said, how should I shoot this? How should I do this? Or maybe that, because it felt like Star Wars. That episode really felt like Star Wars, man. So,
like, hey, George, you like that?
And Dan Steph, how can the Force be female if we got Shimmy Walker pregnant? The only Rosario Dawson. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, the Force is nothing. It's nothing and everything.
Right.
It's not female. It's not male.
It's not male.
It is in everyone. It breathes. It lives. Everything, and that's the problem. She took everything that was interesting about the Force and just threw it. She said, "Screw it. It's easy to train now. You don't even have to train, especially if you're a woman." And I don't mean that in a sexist way. Rey didn't have to train.
Yeah, I know. And she was like one of the most powerful Jedis ever, supposedly, right? So yeah, what's that?
They did a little bit of training in the last movie.
Trained on training.
Yes,
but
she raised some rocks.
Yes,
she raised some rocks. She swung the lightsaber, and then she lost her ever-loving mind when she saw Kylo. And
but then again, how much training did Luke have too?
I can buy with the stuff that they showed and the several scenes that they went back and forth from that it was a lot longer than her.
I agree, and not only that, after he had to fight with Darth Vader, is how many years till Empire Strikes Back? So he could have been training between that. But at least we got the.
Yeah, what was
at least we got the fact that
how
he
many
was.
years was it from episodes?
The 3 years, George
It was
Lucas
3 years.
The 3 years in between each film, he said, was real time.
Yeah, and it's 3 years between each of the movies. So, if I'm not mistaken, I'll check that out, but I'm sure it's 3 years. Dan 200 said, "Let's be honest here, folks. The sequel trilogies was nothing more than a poorly reheated, microwaved version of the original trilogy." They tried. That's what they were trying to do, but it went off rails. No,
very quickly.
Because they tried it with Force Awakens. I will agree with you on that one. That was a straight rehash of Star Wars, but then Rian Johnson came in, switched it up, and then they had to go and. I think what JJ should have just did then, since Rian Johnson came in, probably didn't have the vision he had. He should have just went along with it, but instead they went through all these internet things and did all this. You know what I mean? Instead of just trying to move forward with the story, then he tried to retcon some of the stuff that was done. So wasn't really.
Yeah, because you know that whole Luke scene was a retcon.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They didn't like what they did to Luke, but I mean, if you started like me, if I started and I know it's going to be a trilogy, I'm going to at least want to have my hands into all three. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But rumors has it that DC will announce a new Superman movie at Brazil CCXP. Well, we need a new Superman movie anyway. So
this is the time for DC to do something, right?
Yes,
I agree.
Especially when Marvel
100%.
dropped the ball with Endgame.
Oh, come on, man.
What? Good thing Danny's not here.
Stop talking about
Why
Endgame,
not?
boy.
He can fan zone
Danny
you.
almost swerved off the road for a minute. He was like, got a shiver for a second.
He can fan zone you anytime he wants.
Oh crap! He just DM'd
Just
me.
bought the
Are you
game.
serious? Wow, Danny.
The rumor was Lucas was granted the honor of naming certain aspects of things related to Yoda's race. Don't want to get too far into what was said, as I could still be spoilish of what's to come. I guess I could see that.
I can answer
because yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, keep going.
No, I was just gonna say I guess I could see that because there was a lot of mystery surrounding Yoda's race. So I think if they were asked about it, probably wanted to get it right. I don't know. I could see it. What are you gonna say?
If he was asked, and I guess if he decided to do it, yeah, I would have gone to him about the race and all that. But I don't buy that because he always said he didn't want anything really to be known about Yoda. So why would he go and turn around and say, "Okay, fine, yeah, let's do that"? Okay, Eli, what do you have to say about it?
He did not want anything to say about Yoda's race.
No, he didn't want you to know where he came from. He didn't want to know the race. He wanted Yoda to be a complete mystery.
When people ask George, you know, what species is Yoda, he would say Yoda is a frog.
Mm-hmm.
So froggy
Yeah, that ain't no joke. He used to say that to people, and
Kermit the Frog.
this is a mystery. I think they need to.
All right,
if they're gonna unfold it, they need to do it very carefully.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
George Lucas maintained a strict policy on keeping the history, name, origin, and whereabouts of this species unknown. When asked what species Yoda is, Lucas has only joked he is a frog. In the documentary From Puppets to Pixels, he joked that Yoda is the illegitimate child of Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. He doesn't want anybody to know.
I agree.
So
Once, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead because
including himself.
I was gonna say because once Disney, I guess, decided to do it, he would have no say in it. So at least maybe he could give input into it, right? But at the end of the day, you're right. He probably didn't want to have anything. But
then I go back to Filoni. I'm not sure Filoni ever intended to do anything like that either. I don't know if it really matters because now we're not even looking for where he's from. We're looking for Jedi to train him. That's all we're doing. Mm-hmm. We're not looking for his homeland anymore. We're not looking for any of that. So
yeah, it deflected that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's even going to come into play. I think they teased at it, and people were like, "Ooh, are they going to tell us? Are they going to tell us?" And now they've said, "No." They might bring it back, but I mean, and
it makes sense.
If Filoni does want to go that route, yes, Lucas needs to be there for every bit of that to say yes or no.
If he even knows, he never really thought about it.
I don't think he cares. Yoda was not even. Yoda was an attempt to do something that he tried to do in the first movie with Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
And when he couldn't do it then, he didn't know if he could do it there. So he contacted Jim Henson and said, "What can you do?" And Jim said, "Listen, I'm swamped right now. I can't do it. Talk to Frank. He knows everything I know. He does everything I can do. Talk to Frank Oz." And he went to Frank Oz, and Frank said, "Yeah, I'll come up with something." And he asked George, "What do you want?" And he said, "I don't know. Something like Kermit, but different." I think that's exactly what he said. Just something like Kermit, but different. And he came back with Yoda. This little crunched up old thing that looked like a frog.
Mm-hmm.
So
and an iconic character at that. Dan 200 TF said, "Indeed, the Force surrounds us. Are metachlorians that bad?" I never had an issue with the metachlorian thing, but a lot of people did.
The metachlorians screwed everything up. And that's why I don't leave George out of the blame. Because
no, you can't, but
because the metachlorians are the answer to why Rey can do what she can do. Because the metachlorians are there to balance the Force. So therefore, if they're there to balance, think of yourself on a bike. if you start leaning one direction, your body doesn't let you just fall over. It says, no, I got to correct. That's what metachlorians do. So no matter how drastic they have to correct to fix problems, they will do it. That's what I always said. I don't like that answer. I hate that answer, but it's allowable under the precursor of what metachlorians are.
I have a fun fact for you. Jedi was considered an official religion under the state of California. When the Phantom Menace came out, the state of California rebutted that because a life form that embodies everything is not considered basically a religion. It's another life, it's another living creature. So after the Phantom Menace came out, California no longer recognized Jedi as an official religion.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Had no idea about that. But I mean, it shouldn't have been recognized as a religion anyways. I'm sorry.
A way of life, maybe, but religion?
Yeah, no, exactly. Kavari said, how awesome would it be if George Lucas directed a comic book movie? It might be good, but I mean, George Lucas has a style of his own, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure it would fit. Maybe depends. It depends. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it if they said George Lucas was doing, like, I don't know, the next Spider-Man or Iron Man or whatever. I'd be down to watch that for sure. But
if there was a miniseries with guest directors per episode, yeah, I would like to see George Lucas's take on one of these episodes, or JJ's.
That I would like.
Yeah, just like one episode.
No, not JJ. We already seen what JJ can do, but I would definitely like to see.
I mean, like Spielberg's take on this, or
George Lucas or something.
Shyamalan's take on a superhero movie. Yeah, like guest superheroes. Yeah, not a whole movie, but
dude, I would love to see Peter Jackson do a Star Wars movie.
Oh, yeah, that would be good too. I'd be down for that.
4 hours. I hope not be that long. I'm not sure.
Are you kidding me? The more the better.
Guarantee you the scenes, the scenery would look a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. Miles Morales said, "Okay, I'm Star Wars illiterate. Did Leia have powers? Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
Jar Jar is key to all of this. Go ahead.
The Leia thing is established in the original trilogy.
That is correct. Mm-hmm. That is correct. Jar Jar is the key to all this. You know, there was a rumor that Jar Jar was a Sith. I wish George would have did that. That would have really, you know what I mean? Because you had him bumbling in the first movie, maybe even the second movie, and then at the third movie, you find out that he's a Sith Lord and something like that. I think that would have redeemed Jar Jar.
That would have.
You know,
they did that in Naruto.
In what?
In Naruto, the main bad guy in Naruto anime and Naruto.
Yeah,
the main bad guy was a bumbling idiot. And then the second his plan was laid in, he just changed immediately. His voice just changed immediately, and you found out he was king shit.
Yeah, I would have liked that. I think that would have made people at least respect Jar Jar. They probably wouldn't have liked him in the first one still, but at least they would have been like, okay, it makes sense. Yeah, I think it would have been
right,
awesome
especially if like he like started his set like when he changed, he like started talking like an idiot and finished the sentence talking completely different. I bet you that would have flipped everybody out. Flipped everybody out. Yeah,
I agree. That would have been nice. Yes, Leia was force sensitive. She had a psychic bond with Luke in the OT. Baby Yoda is a Sith Lord. Why is LDG on fighter? Get the extinguisher.
I got a guy for you guys to go check out. I've done stuff with him in the past. He hasn't been around. He started about 5 weeks ago back up on his YouTube channel. It's 19K Fox. Go check out his video about his theory that Moff Gideon and or whatever the guy, the child's name is,
Grogu.
He has a theory that
Goku.
That when what Moff Gideon's going to do is get a hold of him, and that actually when they try to fuse the blood to Moff Gideon or fuse them together somehow, that's actually where Snoke comes from.
Really? That'd be interesting. You see,
I watched his video and I started thinking, I was like,
the Emperor made Snoke. He said that.
Yes, and that's the thing. So if they've cloned the Emperor, because of course we're going to go down the Disney canon now, when they cloned the Emperor, they had several clones before the one we see in Episode 9. They were all flawed in one way or another. He made many of them. So the first one, and I think they even say in their storyline that there was one that was done right. One of them may be the one that fuses them together and, as you said, makes Snoke. Maybe. I don't know. But check out his video.
What is Snoke's race? What is Snoke's race?
They don't say.
Anything about Snoke. And the thing is, it was such a cop-out when they killed Snoke to say that they couldn't have brought him back. All you have to do is say that they'd already done the force projection thing. All you had to do is say it was a force projection, and he's so good at it that he made you see his body fall apart. I mean, I'm like, you didn't have to kill him off. You didn't have to make that stay, but whatever. I digress. I love talking stuff. Yeah, so we're talking all Star Wars tonight. Great.
Well, that would be good. That would be interesting to see, man. That would show me that at least they're thinking outside the box with something. You know what I mean? So I would.
Yeah, I never would have thought. I never would have thought about
that video.
That's EU thinking right there.
That would be really good. Dave Filoni needs to be head creative for everything Star Wars. Yeah, I would agree with that. You know what I mean? Either him or Favreau. I'll agree with both of them. But I think Dave Filoni definitely has to have his hand in something. Damn, there's a lot of comments over here. Let's try to get through some of these.
We don't need a Man of Steel. We have that.
There's an ongoing joke in the Pink 5 fan film where Stacy constantly calls Yoda frog people. And in the same film, Yoda plays with a frog with a stick. Hello, Froggy. Pink 5, I don't know what that is. So the thing is, though, we had no clue Baby Yoda was going to be a thing. But there is a rumor that it would involve characters from Yoda's race. That's too big of a coincidence. Danny. BS Onzo is correct. Mandalorians ain't no big deal. Metachlorians ain't no big deal. Star Wars fans, FOC about that. FOS?
Full of shit.
Oh, full of shit. Okay, yeah, I guess that's what that is. Yeah, like I said, I really don't care about the Mandalorians, But what I was gonna say is, when you were talking about them taking Baby Yoda, I thought that's what was going to happen when Mando went back to his ship. I thought he was going to go back to the ship, and because it was tracked, they would have had taken Baby Yoda from the ship, and now he would have had to go find Baby Yoda.
I still say the tracking will be how Boba Fett finds him. I still say that Boba Fett's working with Moff Gideon, and I still say he's coming back one more time.
Really?
And
that would make sense. And
I hope what we might see also is that he might have some sort of a clan with the Mandalorians still, and that he has new armor. Because we know right now, Mandalorian still has the armor.
That is correct.
So if they want to go completely stupid on their continuity and forget how to edit or forget things that they've done, which they've kind of done in some other stuff, he'll show up in his old armor and we'll be like, how the hell did he get it? Unless he breaks into the ship and I guess he get it
and
there.
Gets the armor and gets Baby Yoda.
I still say they're setting it up to do much like you said, Onzo, is I think one of these times that kid's going to be in the ship and he's going to go and he's going to get him because Moff Gideon, that's his way of doing it. He tried doing it with force. Now he's going to play the game of stealth.
Right. And Mando's leaving Baby Yoda with fucking everybody, right? So it's easy for him to get
somebody call child services.
Yes, New Republic to report some child abuse going on. There's this guy in this Beskar armor. He says he's a Mandalorian. Yeah, right. Anyways, he's leaving it with this kooky mechanic and just these randos all over the place. I think you need to come and take this kid.
Seriously.
Boba Fett?
Yes, sir.
Officer Boba Fett. You're gonna send Officer Boba Fett after the child. Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. You'll send Dave Filoni right over. Yes.
And Shifty Gibbon said, not to mention the huge mystery last episode brought up by Grogu's origins, and if he's kin to Yoda Yaddle, who got him out of the temple, they're gonna drop a green tinted knowledge bomb on us.
There's the library. She hid them and took them out.
They definitely have what it takes to drop that bomb on us. They really do, because like you said, they did set it up. I like the fact that he was taken from the temple. Who hit him? So we'll see.
I was going to say, I think that's next season. They have done a lot this season. Yeah. They have done a lot this season that we said needed to be done. Now they're leaving bits and pieces for next season.
I say there's Jairus. That saved Jairus.
Who's that?
Kanan from Rebels.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was him.
Okay. Yeah, it could be. Right, like you said, they did drop a lot in this season. I think this season is going to end with a cliffhanger, and then season 3 is going to start up like that, So that's what I think. Lucas technically did Howard the Duck, but less said than better. Hey, man, Howard the Duck is a guilty pleasure, man. Howard the Duck is a guilty pleasure. I like Howard the Duck. So
Duck boobs, come on.
Biggleford Entertainment, I don't agree with Chris. I think they had Boba make an appearance just for member berries. I don't think we'll see him again.
Why would they just do 5 seconds?
But I said that too. I'm with Tim. I said I don't think he's coming back.
There's no point. No. That why you put him in for 5 seconds? Because you don't tell anybody he's going to be there. You don't say anything about the guy who played, or the guy that played Jango Fett, who's now playing Boba Fett. You don't say anything about him being in it. You don't release it. You don't let anybody know about it. You don't put it on IMDb. When he's in it 5 seconds, that's when you don't reuse him. When you make sure everybody knows he's in it, when you make sure everybody knows he's playing Boba Fett, then you have a purpose for him. That's how I know they're going to show him again.
All right.
I think they're going to show him not only as Boba Fett, but as Rex as well.
Ooh.
I think if anything, they'll show him as Rex. That's interesting. But I will definitely put 5 jelly beans on that one that he doesn't come back for the rest of the season. Chris?
Jelly beans. He showed back. Q for 5 seconds beans? And he never came back.
Yeah, you take that bet. All right. I got that. I got that bet.
I like that Shifty Gism's last one. I like that one.
Yeah, it's coming. I've been complaining about Boba the entire time. What have you been complaining, Ostinator, that they haven't showed enough of him, or So, what's Shifty Gizm's question is: when Mando takes Grogu to the Jedi planet, who thinks we'll see a grumpy old man Mace Windu living out there, cut off from the Force, much like Luke in The Last Jedi?
I do.
I hope so.
I do, because
I don't think so.
No. Ahsoka told the Mandalorian, take Grogu to the stone, the same stone at the temple, same stone that Luke was meditating on at the original Jedi temple. She even said there's not many Jedi left. There could be a Mace Windu because it was confirmed that he's still alive.
It could be. I just don't think we're gonna see him.
I want to see a purple lightsaber. Come on.
I want to see it.
I know Danny really wants to see it.
I'll tell you what. Their best bet for this, since they said no Jedis and stuff like that, at the end of this season, beginning of next season, something, you have Ahsoka come back. If you're going to do a spinoff, you have Ahsoka come back and say, I know where the Jedi's at. Take the child, move it over to Ahsoka's show. Let the Mandalorian go and do different things. Then you don't break your thing, and then you can see all the Mace Windu you want. You can see Luke all you want. You can do all of that stuff in Ahsoka's story.
Baby Yoda's gonna die, everybody. I'm telling you this now.
Good. I mean, oops.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I think
believe he will.
You guys think Baby Yoda's gonna die?
They need to.
Someone's gotta die.
All of them.
That'll be the end result of the child. They'll either hide him or he'll die.
Yeah, they need all the blood, all his midichlorians, so he's gonna have to die.
I'm
not just one little blood sample. No, they're greedy.
I don't think they kill him.
That makes no sense, because if you're greedy, you don't kill him.
Yeah.
if you're greedy, you keep him alive and you keep taking his blood because he just keeps making more blood.
He'll be a threat to you.
Has anybody thought that perhaps Palpatine, which I always said should have been like possessing Snoke, but anybody thought maybe Palpatine's possessing Moff Gideon? Because I know a lot of people are suggesting that he's a Sith or that he's trained.
More sensitive.
Trying to.
He is more sensitive.
Maybe. They showed him for 30 seconds and they haven't done anything with him. What was the point of that? Fan service. That's exactly what that point of that was. Fan service to let people know.
Not with an
that he's still
announcement.
alive.
Fan service is when you throw him in without telling anybody.
Yeah, but they're also going to be doing their, well, from what I hear, is
That's
their
bullshit.
own Boba Fett series, right?
Why?
So-
This is the Boba Fett series. This is the leftovers of his damn movie they never made. And now you're going to give him his own fucking thing. Kill the Mandalorian, kill the Mandalorian, then give Boba Fett the Mandalorian show.
I don't think they'll do that.
You don't need two shows about Mandalorians.
But they could. One's a good Mandalorian. One's a good Mandalorian. One's a bad Mandalorian.
And you keep that Mandalorian in this one.
They did have two shows on at the same time, DS9 and Voyager.
And Boba Fett's not a real Mandalorian. So there's a lot of things that
neither is what's his name? Neither is this Mandalorian. He was found.
Yeah, he was found.
Yeah, but he was raised though.
Yeah, right.
He was raised by them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That doesn't make him absolute.
No, but he is.
What is it that he called it? He's there's a name for it. The ones that are
Bo-Katan called him it, and I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back to it, but there's a
Children
name
of the
for those
Watch.
types.
one that's a Mandalorian, but is adopted, is not from.
Yeah, wasn't born into it.
Yeah.
She says it in that episode. She calls him that.
I'm too tired to play my video. Okay.
And Shifty Game said, I think they showed Bilbo just to set up the rumor Boba Fett limited series, which will probably show how he got out of the Sarlacc. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. We definitely been on this topic for a minute. So, I mean, like I said, after the show is done, we can talk some more. Like, I mean, after we do the main, because I'm going to be on for a bit. But we'll go on to the next topic here. And topic number 2 is the Toxic Avenger. Now, Peter Dinklage has locked down his next big gig. The former Game of Thrones actor has been tapped to headline the Toxic Avengers reboot, which is currently in the works at Legendary Pictures. Macon Blair, I don't feel at home in this world anymore, has been tapped to direct the movie, which will reimagine the 1984 trauma flick for modern audiences. Do you want to see a new Toxic Avengers movie? Anybody can start it up.
With Peter Dinklage? He's a great actor, but Trauma was the 80s and 90s. Trauma is no more Trauma. Those are bad B. Those are good bad
B movies.
Yeah, but Peter Dinklage, he's a good actor.
I don't know if I could see that as a Toxic Avenger. I guess he's gets bigger or whatever after he gets into the toxic stuff. But I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the first Toxic Avenger anyway, so I could care less about this one. What do you think, Chris?
I'm not interested that much in it. They were kooky and fun in their own way, but I mean, you know, it was just kind of let me see what this is about when I've watched it, and then if I don't have anything else to do, it's one of those movies I would watch when I'm working on stuff because I don't have to pay attention to it. So I don't know.
So was Porky's.
Actually, no. If I watch Porky's, I'm paying attention to Porky's.
Damn right.
I'm paying attention to Porky's. Porky's got titties and stuff. Yeah, I'm paying attention to that. Pickles, what do you think?
Some of those famous for the topless scenes.
Yeah,
turning this guy into the next. Yeah, turning this guy into the next Baby Ruth is going to be interesting. I like to see the makeup and everything that they're going to do. Turning this guy into the next Sloth. as far as the original show, wasn't too much of a fan. I knew of the Toxic Avenger, but I mean,
Movie or cartoon?
wasn't really that. I really wasn't too into it. What are they going to do with it? No clue. We'll see. Now you do have a very good actor, even though he doesn't maybe fit the spot when you first think of it. Maybe he does a good job. Hopefully he has some good writing, some good stories. It's going to be a reboot, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see, the story of how he becomes Toxic Avenger all over, the origin story, and go from there. I really doubt they're what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's so funny there, Chief.
Chat. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I really doubt they're gonna not do it where they don't start from the origin story, and see how far it can go. But he's got a good actor. I don't know if he's gonna have everything else backing him up.
Danny, don't let me time you out, because I will do it. I will send you into a 30-second timeout, and that will be your chat phantom zone. What?
Joking aside, don't actually do that to anybody because that hurts their YouTube profile.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yes. Don't joke around with timeouts. I mean, you could joke around, but just don't actually do it unless they actually.
Maybe I'll do it to you just for telling me what not to do.
Do what you want to do, brother. I'll remember that next time your Mac has a heart attack again.
Oh,
first off, my Mac has never had a heart attack, bro.
The Mac attack?
It's never had a heart attack, bro. Never.
Shit. Oh, sorry, my fault.
But
that was
now
deep.
that Elihu said something which reminded me of actually the Toxic Avenger cartoon, which I actually liked. Yeah. I did like that cartoon when I was growing up. It was cool. I liked it. So
is this gonna be a live action movie or a cartoon with him as the
live
voice?
Action.
Oh,
yeah, they're doing live action.
Yeah, live action movie. I don't think it'll.
Oh, they got Peter Dinklage for God's sakes. I mean,
yeah. So, what do you think, JJ?
I don't give a shit.
Straight up, love it.
Good answer.
Never paid attention
it's
to
got
it.
potential. I mean, it does got potential.
I knew it existed, but it never something that ever, really struck with me. I watched maybe 10 minutes of it, and I'm like, no, this ain't me. So yeah, I don't matter either way. If make a, even Peter Dinklage, yeah, he's a good actor and all, but nah, it just don't strike a chord with me.
I think it was the toxic waste that got me because you really had very, very, very few rare superheroes or stories always ever started with toxic waste. I mean, like, what did we have? Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that wasn't even technically toxic waste, but yep, technically it was.
It was ooze. But can you imagine? Ooze, but the effects, like his face, how they would do it nowadays, like that would be pretty cool. I would like to see that.
I mean, the only cool one I could think of is Daredevil.
Oh,
because Daredevil got his powers from toxic waste.
Yeah, that's true.
Danny said, "Shut up, LDG. You can't pull enough BS out your ass to even defend that shit." Danny, yeah.
Tell Danny to get on his phone and jump back in. I do it. Come on.
You know what I mean? Danny's
not be able to
typing
messages.
Says the guy who wants to phantom zone him for bringing it up, and now he's talking shit about me. Are you fucking kidding?
I am, and just for that, I'm gonna phantom zone your ass right now. How you like that, apples, bro? How you like that, huh? Let me get.
I was talking about you. I was talking about Danny.
Okay.
Oh God, dang it!
You see, LEG, you gotta learn how to do it right. You gotta say, "Hey, Danny." You gotta mention the name because he's.
I was pointing at Danny. I'm like, coming from the guy who's telling the guy that to phantom zone him. Okay,
but you gotta understand something. Ozzy's got an itchy trigger finger.
Yeah, he does. No, you know why? Because when he met me, he added the words LDG to the Phantom Zone button. At Phantom Zone, LDG.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Danny said, "Okay, Anzo, that should
you
have went to the
sponsored
grave
it.
with you."
I'm
What should have
sponsored
went
the
to the grave with me? That I
button.
like Toxic Avengers? Nah, man. I like that
Hey,
cartoon,
man.
bro.
Hey. He likes Blank Man. Or is wait, no. What's
He
the show?
doesn't like Blank
He
Man.
likes Discovery.
I
Enough
know.
said.
But no, you
Oh.
like Blank Man. I mean, so
I
he
do.
thinks that this is some weird stuff that you like the Toxic Avenger.
I do like Blank Man, and I do like Discovery
I
too
didn't
as
say
well. Pickle.
I didn't say you're wrong. Danny
what
needs to get up with the
You
times and start
probably-
watching some of this stuff.
What's his brother's name? Black Man and
What about
man.
Meteor Man? Meteor Man.
I loved Meteor Man too. Danny hated both of those movies.
I thought Meteor Man was dumb, but I did
What
like.
you say? What you say?
What I
you
say,
say?
I would say, I don't give
No,
a
not
shit
you,
about
JJ.
that. Fuck it. Oh,
No, not you, JJ. Elihu-Who. What'd you say? I'm listening.
I think his mic went out for a moment. I think he's
Yeah, I think
He has a
his
Mac.
mic went out.
He has a Mac. He might.
Yeah, I heard you. Just to let you know, but you're smart not to say it again. But because I heard you, you're still going in the zone. So there. And Danny said, "Thank you, JJ, the voice of reason." Whatever. Gaishka, you didn't talk about it. What do you have to say?
I don't think they should do it. Enough with the remakes. Fuck.
Yeah, they don't. There's not a good track record of that.
Just enough with
Because
the
they're
remakes
afraid-
and the reboots.
They're afraid
Put
to
their
continue
brains-
the story.
Yeah, but still,
They have-
fuck.
They'd have to pay him more money if they did too. I bet
original ideas.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
have to reboot it,
They're
make it slightly
lacking-
different.
Creativity. They just.
Don't make it a woman.
Danny, you were
Right.
lucky you had to
Disney,
go.
stop making cartoons and live action movies. Come up with something.
Transgender
Actually-
one at that.
Well, actually, it's toxic. It's toxic. He might not have anything.
Well, Danny is lucky he had to go because his ass would have been in the Phantom Zone. Austinator said, "I own Blank Man. It's a trip." Damn right, it's a trip. Austinator, you got good taste, brother. I appreciate that.
Blank,
You
man.
know what I mean?
Shit. You know that.
Next topic, number 3. Let me get this off the screen, which is Alien TV show. Now, it may not be happening now or ever, but discussions have taken place regarding an Alien TV show before the Disney-Fox merger went into effect. Fargo creator Noah Hawley has been in discussions to bring the iconic sci-fi franchise to the small screen. While Hawley remains mum on the details, he did touch on the topic recently, though asserts that he has not committed to the project at this time. Now, do you guys want to see an Aliens TV show, or would you prefer a movie instead?
I did a video on
TV
that
show.
months ago.
TV show.
I would not want to see either because they totally messed it up when it was predators make the aliens and all of a sudden the humans are making the aliens. So what is it? Are they going to go with that premise or are they going to go with the original premise of the aliens? That's what I want to know. If they're going to go with the original premise, yeah, I'd like to see a TV show on that. But if the predators made the aliens the hunting tools, that's the way it was supposed to be. I would love to see the original premise of a TV show like that, but not the new version like Prometheus, where what I think it was called Prometheus. That with the human.
Yeah, it was Prometheus.
Yeah, Pickles. See what you did?
You're welcome.
Yeah, I would not want to see a version of that because I'm like, you totally messed up the storyline. Come on.
Well, for me, it depends on what they do with it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't think I want to see a movie because if they do a movie, then they're bound to the movie. You know what I mean? But let's say they do a series, they can make it their own. It doesn't have to be part of the movie cinematic universe, so they could do whatever they want with it. So I'd be more inclined to actually see a TV series than anything.
Well, they could incorporate both. How the humans eventually created the aliens, and the predators created the aliens. They can incorporate both of them.
Well, yeah, they could do that too.
It's a TV show, yeah.
I talked about this last year sometime. I'm looking for it.
Go ahead while you look for
You're
that.
talking-
Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you're talking about Disney Plus here. That's what they've talked about. And if you're talking Disney Plus, you're talking PG-13ish PG version of this, it's not going to be Alien. It just isn't. I mean, yeah, I mean that's
Really, it has to be
Well,
PG. You don't want
that's
to
what I
just
was
put a
gonna say.
disclaimer in the
it's
beginning.
Disney. It's Disney.
Oh, it's Disney. Oh, okay.
It's Disney owns Alien now.
Yeah, but it's just Disney's also got Deadpool and it's coming out R-rated.
That I've heard that, but until I see them actually
You don't
full
believe it?
blown release Disney R-rated stuff, or see, I've always said Disney doesn't have to call it under Disney. If it says Marvel on it, it can be R-rated. There's nothing that I don't care that Disney owns it. But if it says Disney, that's fine. But that's why they should have kept a Fox division or something, or bring back Buena Vista Television, something like that, that they can slap that R rating on, and it doesn't flat out go to Disney. But until they do it, I don't believe it.
It's about marketing. Disney does not want anything negative attached to something that says Disney on it. Like Chris said, if it's Marvel, yeah, because Disney's nowhere near that word Marvel. If it says Disney on it, they're gonna stay clear because there goes their kid revenue.
Does Disney does or does not Disney own Marvel?
That's what I said. About marketing,
Do they or do they not?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Then that means Disney's name is attached to Marvel.
No, what I mean is
like
they don't
visibly,
put on there.
Yeah,
I know what the English you said was. I'm telling you what I mean. The people who bitch and cry about Marvel, do you think they're gonna forget Disney owns Marvel? The people who bitch and cry and moan, the people who put newspaper articles up on the screen are gonna bitch at Disney. They own Marvel. Whether the Disney name is on it or not, Disney cares because that's what Disney is. I was a slave of the mouse for 3 years, and I know how bad they are, okay? I worked at a place that said you couldn't have a mustache when the owner that I had to walk past every day had a mustache on the damn portrait, okay? These people freaking care. Just because a name isn't attached, it is attached. They own it. The people who bitch will still bitch at Disney.
You can have your mustache now.
Yeah.
I step out my statement.
Oh, I'm good now. Yeah, I'm golden. Do you know I walked into work one day with a fake wig that I bought from Disney. It was a rock and roller coaster thing with long hair. I walked into my job and I had security following me looking for some guy with long hair because they know that there was nobody who was working for Disney with long hair because I walked in the back door. And I came back out and I'm like, I walked right by those guys with it off and they didn't even think anything. They were like, yo, LD, they were looking for somebody with long hair. I'm like, yeah, that was me.
But you see, that's the thing with me, right? It's like you said.
Yeah.
That's why Marvel won't do any R-rated stuff. I mean, they said, I heard like I said, I heard that they said they were going to keep.
Doctor Strange is R-rated.
Aliens. You want to see an Aliens movie or freaking?
No, they
TV
changed
show,
Doctor Strange. They changed Doctor Strange. It's going to be PG-13.
Oh man, now I don't want to see it. Okay, I'll still
Doctor
see
Strange, PG-13. They did say that they would do the Deadpool and keep it PG-13, but I don't know if I buy that.
You mean keep it rated
You
R?
can't have PG-13.
Rated R, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Keep it rated
I
R.
want to see it.
Wait. Show me the topic again.
Yeah. Hold on.
Alien TV show. Disney Plus.
Alien TV. All right.
Yeah, it was Alien TV show.
I didn't do it about the Alien, but here, this is about the Predator. They talked about doing the Predator also.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here,
a Predator TV series.
Yeah, I'll put it in the.
But isn't that one and the same?
Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
No, I think a Predator series would probably work more than an Alien movie. But I wouldn't mind seeing either one of them, to be honest with you. You know,
Or crossover of both.
Well, they make
I love Aliens
in a single one. Knock out two birds with one stone.
I still love Aliens, you know.
Like Elihu said, if they stick to the original story of the aliens, then yeah, I can see it working. But if they're like all over the place again,
I agree. 50 says, "Oh God, I gotta fight the urge to nerd out on those Annies. Aliens is my Star Wars." Oh, you like Aliens?
Oh, wow.
F the Predator. Really? Make new stuff. Stop rehashing all the stuff that we've
Thank
already
you.
seen. I can
New
agree
stuff
with
doesn't
that.
sell, Dandelion. It doesn't sell. They don't think it sells. They don't
There you
think
go.
it sells.
They don't think it sells, but it does sell.
It does.
That's the
right?
video
Where?
about Predator. I put it in the chat, the link to it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
I catch a lot of this stuff early on. Originally, they were just talking Predator, and I can't remember if I do mention that I do. Back then, I did hear about this because the first thing, as soon as they got Fox, they said, "Hey, we got Disney Plus coming out. We're going to go ahead and."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why?
You know, and another thing too is these two franchises are pretty much dead. You know what I mean? Like they're pretty much dead. So maybe they're thinking that they could do a TV series. It's cheaper, and they can get the same kind of effects that they're having with the Mandalorian.
Well, Iron Man comic book was dead until the movie came out.
Yeah, I relaunched
That
it.
is correct.
Yeah, it was a
That is
relaunch.
correct as well.
Yeah.
Infinity Wars was dead until they killed it further.
Now you have to know that was coming, right? Anytime you talk bad about Infinity Wars, especially Infinity Wars, your ass is going into the Phantom Zone. You say what you want about Endgame. I like the Endgame, but not as much as Infinity Wars. So
I meant Endgame. It's all the same. It's freaking.
Oh, so go sound again.
Dan 200 TF said, bro, this Alien TV show finna be trash. I heard they're gonna ignore the aliens this time around and focus more on the human research aspect than tease the aliens at the end. If that is the case, then yeah, that would absolutely be trash. You know, I want to see the aliens. That's what an alien TV show is supposed to be. I want to see the aliens. I don't want to see how them create the aliens because we already seen that in Prometheus.
Right.
You know, and Alien Covenant. Sorry. So, Shiftingism, the show isn't happening, Dan. Tim said, "Can I come in?" Yeah, Tim, you have me on Twitter. If you have me on Twitter, send me a message. I'll send you the link. No problem. Shiftingism, we don't know that yet. Ridley needs one last Prometheus film to finish his story. Get the ship to LV-426 and give the protomorph that one last trait to making it xenomorph. The engineer by biomedical exoskeleton, whatever. There was supposed to be a trilogy. I know that. I just don't know with the because Covenant didn't do so well. You know what I mean? So is there going to be a third one? I haven't heard any talks about it, so I really have no idea. But I do know that there was supposed to be a third one. Disney owns FX. Disney owns a good portion of Hulu. Disney has been making R-rated content for decades.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They have, but they haven't been making it under the Disney brand. That's the difference, right? Yeah, of course they're going to want to put their money in R-rated and those type of movies, but it's not under the Disney brand. Marvel is under the Disney brand, so it's totally different. There was a leak that they could add an 18 plus section for Disney Plus.
No.
I don't know about that one. I never heard that, but yeah, I don't think that would happen. Disney doesn't have to put aliens on Disney Plus. No, it doesn't. You're correct. They have many other avenues for distribution.
Well, you'd say that, but like the Predator article that I talk about in there, it says it says directly Disney's talking about Disney Plus.
Okay, got you.
Die Hard. I think Die Hard's on Disney Plus right now.
It is.
Is it?
I think so.
I would have to go check that because I don't know. I don't remember seeing it there. But I haven't really searched for it on there anyway. So I heard they're making a Alita Battle Angel series on Disney Plus. I'd be down for that. I would be down for that too because I loved Battle Angel. I loved the movie. It's just the budget won't be the same, so maybe the effects won't be as good, because that was one of the things about that movie, is that the effects were fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
Like, they were amazing, man. So they're making a new Predator movie. I heard that. Not interested. Not a show. Doctor Strange 2 was always confirmed PG-13, confirmed by Feige himself.
I always thought it was going to be the first R-rated.
It's
horror
the
movie.
director that was on it originally wanted to make it rated R, and all of his thoughts and all the stuff he was coming up with, Feige kept telling him, dial it back, dial it back, dial it back. Then they removed him from the picture, and now who's doing it? Is it Raimi?
Yes.
I think Sam Raimi's
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah, it is.
He said himself it's a PG-13 movie.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I'm not mistaken, they're probably gonna have some different Spider-Mans in there. They've been rumoring the Spider-Mans a lot, and
Andrew
then they
Garfield.
also and they also confirmed that every single Spider-Man
Maguire.
movie is part of the MCU. So
Yeah, Tobey Maguire is supposed to be confirmed, and so is Andrew Garfield.
exactly. It's gonna be PG-13, and you're gonna love it, Kevin Feige. Yeah, well, I mean, if you go with his track record, man, you know what I mean? They're making money. They don't need to switch up the formula because they're making money. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? At Elihu,
Make it
the
better.
Predator and Alien franchise are technically separate. However, AVP story started because in Predator 2, they used the alien skull in the trophy case due to lack of props. This birthed the AVP franchise. That is correct.
didn't it start
That
because
is
of the
correct.
video game?
No, it was because of the movie, because there is a alien head in the ship at the end. And once they did that, then they started doing the Alien versus Predator comic books, and then from the comic books, then came the movie. So hopefully that 18 plus section is actually legit for Disney Plus, not getting my hopes up. Yeah, don't get your hopes up. The chances of that happening are very slim. Ridley Scott openly rejected the AVP part of the franchise. Well,
But you guys know there is an 18 plus area at Disneyland Park. It's called the jail.
LDG, what the fuck? You don't like Infinity Wars or Endgame? Don't get him started, Khalib. Please don't get him started on that. No, he
I already
does
messaged
not.
him back.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
already
no,
messaged
he
him.
does
Thanks,
not
Khalib.
like it. If you talk bad about Infinity Wars, you deserve to go into the Phantom Zone. Facts, Ostinator. Want to see a war type alien movies? Yeah, I hated Endgame. God, I don't get it, but whatever. I
Now
don't
that
get
we're
it.
taking these beloved stories like an Infinity Gauntlet and just completely turning it upside down, I wonder if they're going to reboot Titanic. And hey, what do you know? It doesn't sink in the end.
That's not redoing it.
Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul, please. Hater.
Thanos didn't die.
Next
He wasn't
topic.
supposed to die. Okay.
Hold on. Going through the chat before we get into what I have next. Bigger Ford. LDG hates Endgame and Infinity Wars. Ban him. I should. Anzo, they already confirmed they weren't doing Deadpool 3 under the Disney name like yesterday. Well, if they don't do it under the Disney name, then yeah, we can get an R-rated one. But if they do it under that, yeah, they won't. And of course, Danny, what the fuck, Blank Man? Yes.
It's going to be Marvel. Deadpool's going to be Marvel.
Yeah.
And I will agree with LDG. Doesn't matter where or how small Disney's name is on it. People know that Disney owns Marvel.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I will not watch a PG-13 Deadpool. It's not going to happen.
I won't either.
I will
Ryan
give him
Ryan Reynolds won't act in one. He said so himself.
You didn't want to watch the Christmas one? It was PG-13 with Fred Savage.
Didn't watch it. Didn't watch it.
It was funny as shit.
I didn't watch it. I know. I wasn't a big fan of Deadpool, anyways. To be honest with you, the second one was okay. The first one I did not like. The second one was a little bit better. The one thing I did love about the second Deadpool was how they did Juggernaut. I thought Juggernaut was
Yes.
done really well. But
And that was
other
the
than
I
that,
think that was the best Juggernaut from all the X-Men.
I agree. The first one, it's like the jokes
like
just didn't
it.
hit for me.
Mm.
Yeah, the jokes didn't
I'm
hit for me
Juggernaut,
at
bitch.
all. So all right. And the next topic that we have up here, I think this one comes from Chris. I'm not sure, but
Well,
hey,
I
guess what?
Ryan Reynolds did the voice of Juggernaut.
Mandalorian question. So, with 3 good episodes in a row, is Mandalorian due for a bad episode? I'm gonna let Gaishka start this one off. Gaishka, what do you think?
I said it last time we spoke about it. They set the bar so high with this last episode. I just don't know. I don't think they're gonna blow us out of the water for the 3 remaining episodes. Maybe the last one.
You give a like a treading water episode and then kick back in, you'll get people back there. That's what they did last season. They had a kind of a tread water one,
Exactly.
and then they finished off the last 2. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think they got it. I think they almost have to phone this next one in.
There's 4 episodes left, right?
3 or 4? 3.
Wait,
3.
3, I think. Yeah.
6, 7, 8, right? 8 episodes, right?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
Okay,
8 episodes. So 3 left. Yeah.
Okay,
So
second.
yeah, I can. You see, the last 2, I believe, will be a 2-parter, right?
Mhm.
So the last one it'll be a 2-parter. So I believe this episode,
Yeah.
something is going to happen in this episode, which brings us to the 2-parter one. So, yeah, and what I think is going to happen is Moff Gideon, like you said, is going to get his hands on Baby Yoda, and then in the last 2, it's going to be Mando trying to fight Moff Gideon and get him back, and which would make sense. But do we think that we're going to see maybe more cameos, like maybe Ahsoka helps him out, maybe Bo-Katan comes back, and then he fights Moff Gideon with Boba Fett at the same time? Could that be a possibility?
Every show has a bad episode. That question you asked, was it toward Mandalorian fans, hardcore Star Wars fans, or somebody who just discovered the show? Because there are some hardcore Star Trek fans who hate Discovery but find a good episode, or like Discovery but find a bad episode.
I mean that just subjectively.
Mhm.
I know people who aren't Star Wars fans who watch The Mandalorian, who love the last 3 episodes. I know people who are Star Wars fans that love the last 3 episodes. I know people who are just Mandalorian fans, but kind of Star Wars fans that like it. I mean it in a straightforward sense of 3 good episodes. For the most part, everybody agrees on that. Most people, except for you and Danny on the one before this one. Jeez.
No, I like the one before this one.
No, not I said you. I said Elihu and Danny.
Oh,
That's what I
Elihu.
mean.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm answering his question. I just mean, for the most part, the consensus is it's been 3 straight good episodes. And like Geiskar said, that's such a bar that they haven't yet hit. They've gotten 2 in a row, but they haven't hit 3 in a row. They are on a run. If I'm going to say this, if they flat out can finish the season at this pace, they have not only exceeded my expectations for this show overall, but they have exceeded my expectations of what is possible right now with a Disney Star Wars series, movie, anything.
I think the last episode is going to be big. The Death Troopers are going to come in. I think Bo-Katan's going to come in. Ahsoka's going to probably come in.
I think so
that's gonna
too.
be a hell of a fight with those Death Troopers and Gideon with the Darth Saber.
The vehicle that they have with the Mandalorian, because we're going to use terminology here, the vehicle they have with the Mandalorian, they have gone balls to the walls the last 3 episodes. They've got 3 more episodes to go. It's time to let off the accelerator, because I don't know if they have enough gas to make it the rest of the way at this speed, at this pace. If they do, they'll surprise me.
I hope they do. I hope.
I won't complain. I'm expecting a letdown in the next episode. I'm expecting it. I figure if I expect it for the next 2 episodes, I'm not going to be disappointed.
For the last one, right?
I personally, I think that I'm kind of on your side, Chris, where it's like maybe the next episode might be like sort of a filler episode right before the season finale. I hope not, but it could be. You know what I mean? But with the momentum that they had with the last, let's say 3, even though the one before the last one or the last 2, I wasn't really feeling that much, but the last 2 I did like. If I want them to keep it going, I want good right up until the end. I don't want to see a filler in there. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that it's done properly. So
Yeah, we're going by what we've seen so far, right? Like Chris said, they did it 2 great back-to-back episodes, but never 3, right?
Well,
but
hopefully.
Here's for hoping, right? Exactly. Oh, don't get me wrong. I hope they blow us out of the water, right? But
I do too. Me personally, so far I've liked the last couple of episodes, and I don't want it to go back. So we'll see how that works out. Just go through the chat.
I really enjoyed the last episode. I just wish I had internet connection to talk on you guys' Star Wars wrap, Mandalorian wrap last Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, you weren't there, right?
No, I lost internet.
Okay, so if you want, what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the last episode? Talk to us.
Oh, I loved it.
Your likes, your dislikes.
I give it an A-. That's how much I loved it.
It's about what everybody was at. It's about
No. I gave it an A plus.
A plus.
Oh,
that's exactly right.
If I could Phantom Zone, if I could send you to that Sarlacc pit, but it's so many light years away right now because I'm not on that
episode. One problem.
You can't.
The beginning of last
it just goes to prove you after your force fed shit for a year. Even ramen tastes like freaking lobster.
Hey, don't diss ramen.
Ramen's great, man.
So what are you trying to say, that Mandalorian is still shit? No, it's not lobster. I wouldn't say it's lobster. But it's getting there. They're on the right path, which is what I'm enjoying about Star Wars.
It's marinating.
It's
right, exactly.
He's having some crawfish.
It's like a warm biscuit. It's getting there.
I heard someone say, I can't remember who it was on a stream or something. They said they didn't want to see no more Star Wars movies. And I absolutely disagree with that. I still want to see Star Wars movies. I like the show. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I just have to take their freaking time and do it right.
I agree. What are you saying, Chris?
Take 2 years to make a movie.
I just can't stand the. And again, this kind of goes against LDG also, and I don't mean any bad, anything bad to you, but I cannot understand how a fan of a franchise, and I understand the shit that they put out for Star Trek. I understand the shit they put out for Star Wars. I just can't understand a fan literally saying, I want this to die and go away. I have said, I want them to lay off the movies for a while, rethink what they're doing, and then when they kind of start getting their shit in order, then try again. I would say the same thing about Star Trek. I would stop the crap. I would do some research with fans, say, what is it that you didn't like about this? Why are we getting so much flack? That's what makes good shows, is listening to people who know what they're talking about. They fired good writers. They did all that. I just like to think that at some point we're going to turn a corner on this bullshit that's going on with crap writing and crap, the crap that they're putting in our shows. And I'm willing to wait it out. I just don't want to see it die. I do want to see it stop. But I think The Mandalorian is a perfect example that when you put the right people that still have to play by certain rules that Disney has already set up in that universe, they're playing by those rules and winning. It's possible. So I think it can happen. I think it can happen with Star Trek. I just can't see how people who are fans can absolutely say, I'm done with it, take it away, throw it to the trash permanently.
Hey, Chris,
I can agree with that.
I need to interrupt you guys for a second. JJ, are you okay? You've been quiet up there.
I was just about to ask that same question,
I'll say this once. Right. JJ, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I hear
Go
you.
ahead, because I got something to say.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
you, Jimmy.
I'm just over here. I'm just over here chilling out, listening to what everybody's
Okay,
thinking
cool.
at the moment. You know.
Cool, man.
So why,
LG
why,
has
you
something
ain't
to
putting
say.
in, why ain't you putting in your 2 cents, bro? That's what I have you on the show for, not to listen.
You don't want to get
Huh?
fan zone for telling the truth.
He's got his machine on.
You see,
No,
No, that ain't that. It ain't that. It ain't
why
that. I'm
LDG
feeding my.
guys talking shit?
I'm feeding my face, man, because I got the fucking munchies from hell.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what happens when you smoke that sticky icky, brother.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. You know it.
You get those munchies. Eat up, man. Eat up. It's all good.
No.
no,
It's no, check it out. Someone remind me of what the question was or the topic was.
Question was,
Please.
with 3 good episodes in a row, is Mandalorian due for a bad episode? What's up, Tim?
Well,
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to the show, brother.
how you doing, Tim?
Not too bad.
Personally, I've heard some rumors about. Okay, it's just getting started. These last 3 episodes are going to blow your minds, but I kind of agree with what Chris just said. I don't. They're going balls to the wall till the end of the season. They got some high hurdles because they can't stop. They can't back off now. If they fuck it up, there's gonna be a lot of mad people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's gonna be a lot of mad people because they brought Ahsoka into the mix. Now they got people's bloods pumping. Okay, now if we get a good episode next week, it just seems like all right. It better be a hell of a 2-parter then. That's the only way they could end that out.
Yeah, well, next week is not going to be the 2-parter. I think it'll be the week after that, right? Because there's still 3 more episodes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we get this week episode, and then we have a hell of a 2-parter. I can definitely agree with that. Tim, what do you think?
Well, wait. Are we back on Star Wars? I thought we were on Aliens
Yeah.
when I first.
No, we moved. We moved.
Back
We
to
moved.
Star Wars.
Moved on.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you can mention that. What you think of that? If you want to say something about the aliens thing we were talking about, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll get back to that. Well, as far as Star Wars goes, like kind of like what I said earlier, when we get to when we go back to the Boba Fett thing, I really honestly think they threw Boba Fett in there just to give the fans like a little bit of fanfare. Because I actually wonder if Boba Fett was actually leading that group of sand people, and he just didn't have he had his mask on the whole time until the end of the show, because he kind of looked like that guy.
That's interesting.
No, I agree with that. I've heard that too being said too.
And I think if he's milling around, the middle of Tatooine somewhere, I don't think he's going to give a shit what's happening anywhere else. I think he just wants to disappear.
Yo, and he had robes on. He had a gaffy stick, a cycler rifle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee he was one of the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And going back to and I made this comment in the chat. In the Clone Wars TV show, the Mandalorian senator told Obi-Wan that the Fetts were pretenders. Now this I'm gonna embellish this a little bit, because I do know that since the sequel trilogy and everything came out, the Clone Wars aren't as quote unquote, and I hate this term, canon as they used to be. There's a lot of stuff that's been getting retconned periodically. Now, what I think is funny though, according to the Clone Wars, when that came out in the lore, the armor that the Fetts used were not made out of Beskar; they were made out of Durasteel, which is one of the reasons why Boba Fett's helmet had a dent in it. A blaster actually took him in the head, and it dented his Durasteel helmet. Now that, like I said, that's just expanded universe lore, more or less. I guess that's what you can call it now. So I would have loved if they had.
It's canon now because they showed the helmet.
Well, hold on. I would have loved it if they had remembered that part and said, "Oh, so Mando goes back to the armor for a second. I got some more Beskar for you to melt down, give to the rest of the clan." And she tries to melt it down and goes, "You just gave me a shit ton of Duracell, you dumbass." that would have been funny, That would have been had a nice little bit of humor there. But and then you would have known for sure it was Boba Fett. But it seems like they want to go back to that Boba Fett was a Mandalorian somehow. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. As far as what they're going to do in the future, here's what I think. Now, in the Ahsoka episode, she's looking for Thrawn. Now, after I got done watching Rebels, you know that if you watch the end of Rebels, Ahsoka meets up with Sabine Wren, and they go looking for Ezra in the outer reaches, because that's where Ezra sent Thrawn with his hyperspace whale things. So I think they're going to go looking for Ezra. Now, this may be a far-fetched theory, but I wouldn't be surprised if she basically told Mando to take Baby Yoda to this temple so she could maybe follow them and see where Yoda points to the nearest quote-unquote Jedi, which may be Ezra Bridger, because she's trying to find Ezra Bridger. That's what I think might happen. And the other reason I think it might happen this way is because this is all Filoni's brainchild. So this is pretty much his storylines. And it just seems to fall in line with what he's been doing lately. So I don't know. It's a theory, but it might be a good one.
No, I hear you on that. Yeah, go ahead, Pickles.
I said this before, and I'll say it one more last time. Ever since Disney bought out Star Wars, they should have just stopped it and just made their own story. And George Lucas gave them the perfect opportunity, and they didn't use it. Even Star Wars starts a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That was your key. You could have made a whole new Star Wars in another galaxy now, later, or in the future. Lucas gave you a way out to completely write a new story, keep it Star Wars, but completely divert yourself from what's already established. And you wouldn't have anybody bitching about nothing, because it has nothing to do with that galaxy that long ago.
Well, I kind of agree with you on that, but they had to finish. Well, they didn't have to, right? Because the Skywalker saga is definitely finished after Return of the Jedi. They could have finished it there. But I figured George Lucas' original plan was to do 3 more movies. So they figured they would do 3 more movies and finish out the saga. But at the same time,
they finished it all right.
Yeah, they finished it. They ruined it.
No, it's
you
done.
Know what I mean?
It's well done. It's overcooked.
But at the same time, they could always go 100 years into the future. Go ahead, Chris.
Chris out of his chair. Did you jump out of your chair?
Yeah, no. I was fixing the carpet, actually. Okay, let's be honest. You want to know what George Lucas's plan was? It was one movie. He did not have an outline for anything after. He didn't really have much of an outline for anything before. He just made money off the first trilogy and said, well, hell, you want to spend money on it? Spend money on it. And he did the prequels. Not a bad, shabby job. I don't like them as much as the originals. There are some that are better than the originals. But he saw money in it. So he didn't have a plan to go out afterwards. He even said, when he did the prequels, he said, I don't really have much of a plan before. I just have all the characters now, and I can fill in what I don't have.
I disagree with that somewhat. Because he did have other stories that he wanted to do within the Star Wars universe. He just didn't have an idea of how to formulate them.
No, that's why we got the EU from. He said that people started writing books. The first book, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, was written.
The Wills? The Wills was his brainchild.
The Wills were designed in the EU, and he found writers that could write their own stories that fit into his stories. And he wanted to keep it as a book series. He didn't want to have it all in movies and stuff. He liked the book series. Splinter of the Mind's Eye was the first one that kind of completely ran off from what Star Wars set up to be. It went Star Wars, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, then Empire. And
but Chris, remember after Return of the Jedi, we were like without Star Wars for so long, and it was pretty much dead. And it was Timothy Zahn's trilogy books that actually launched the books. Like everybody started writing after that. And that's what George. But it was that particular series though that really hit mainstream.
There was the one that Jason Solo. That was like that came out in late. Oh shoot! There was a trilogy I read that fell right underneath or right after Return of the Jedi.
Isn't there a Star Wars book
Thrawn?
Written by George.
Thrawn was after though. Thrawn was written by Timothy Zahn.
Hold on, one at a time, guys. One at a time. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on, Chris. I had to look this up because I know that's not entirely correct about the wills. All right, so the wills, basically the idea he had for his original story for A New Hope was that the story was going to be told by someone else, which would be the wills, and the wills were basically his equivalent of the Force at the time.
Yeah, so, you want me to tell you what that's about? That's called.
I'm actually looking at it right now.
It's another story that I can tell. If you look at original promotional materials and stuff from back in the 70s and interviews from the 70s, it was very clear he had an outline. That outline was simply put the Star Killer story. Luke Starkiller, all of that stuff, that was the simplistic thing. Later on, when he added the the story from long ago, all he ever said was this: I consider this like a folklore, something that people pass down, because that's what he was always trying to do. He was trying to take from all sorts of cultures a basic storyline that everybody could understand. Only later, when he came up with the idea of all the Jedi Order stuff and all of that stuff, did he start telling the story about the wills. And then he said, I always like to think that the story was told. And he added that. People have this idea that he had this massive first outline that had all of the backstory that we saw in the prequels and stuff. He didn't. No. He even says he had 3/4 of his outline was used in the first movie. He had, and he had to
we're
find
not
a way.
talking about this. It's not like this was the Wachowski sisters in the Matrix, where they actually had everything laid out beforehand.
No, but George Lucas did have episodes 1, 2, and 3. He may not have had them written out, but he had the plan, and it was one huge story, but he couldn't get the story made. That's why it starts on episode 4, because they didn't have the technology.
No, it didn't originally. No, episode 4 was
no. What I'm saying
later.
No, what I'm saying is the movies. The movie started with episode 4. The reason why the movie.
It was called Star Wars.
Yeah,
it was called Star Wars. The very
first incarnation was just Star Wars. They added episode 4
right now
when he decided that he wanted to do a prequel series.
And that's the thing.
But Star Wars,
didn't think he was not under the impression that he would ever have another movie to make. So he did everything he could to make the movie he wanted as best as he could. He put every penny he had to it. He refused to give rights up for it. He did everything he could to make sure it was his movie. The rights to the toy manufacturer, all that. The only reason why Lucas was able to make that into a $4 billion giant was because he held so much of it himself, and he built it so well without even knowing what it was going to be.
But when
it came around,
but George Lucas has said, coming out of his own mouth, that episode 4 was not the beginning of the story, and the reason why is because he didn't have the technology to do what he wanted to do. That's why it starts on where that is. He said that. I can go and find it.
It was because he didn't think there was going to be any other movies. He always said that there was
I know that,
there was a small outline.
He actually said both things.
He said there was a small outline that explained where the characters came from and how they got to where they were. And when he said small, he literally had just basic storyline of characters and how they attach to each other.
Go ahead, talk. I'm gonna go look for this because I know I watched the documentary where he
also
said
he did before he ever even thought of doing the prequels. He did say that what Chris Knight is saying is that he didn't have his primary movie was Star Wars, and then they made the other two later. And after they started getting CGI and he started Industrial Light and Magic and they started getting into new technologies, then he decided to make the prequels and he did the remastered of the Star Wars movies. And that's when he decided to say, well, I didn't think I could do this. So now, we're going to make prequels, and now we've got technology. We can do better things and more great things. So, yeah, I mean, you both are right, honestly. He said both things.
Yes,
but he just said them all at different times.
Right, because he has said that he had the story, right? But he couldn't do what he wanted to do for the first half, so he started it with the Luke Skywalker saga, and because the story was always supposed to be about Anakin, right? If you watch all movies together, it's Anakin's story. It's not Luke's story.
All right, listen. George Lucas denies reports he initially planned 9 Star Wars films, though Disney Lucasfilms purchased many may suggest otherwise. One of many intriguing subplots in Star Wars lore is how many sequel movie maker George Lucas originally wanted.
Yeah, but we're not talking about sequel movies, though. I'm talking about
what I'm talking about is
Luke
he
Skywalker
did not have a plan for anything past Star Wars. When Star Wars
he changed his mind as time went on.
No, it's
okay.
When Star Wars
anything past Star Wars, but the Phantom Menace and all not all that stuff was included in that whole story. This is what I'm trying to tell you. He didn't have the whole story written out, but he had the guidelines. He had the guidelines of what he wanted to do. That's what I'm saying. He didn't, but Empire Strikes Back wasn't even written out until after Star Wars was a hit. I know that. But what I'm trying to tell you is he had the outline of the stories. He knew where he wanted it started. He knew where he wanted it to end. And the reason why he started with Luke is because he couldn't do what he wanted to do with the Anakin part of the story. Because when Anakin started the story, there's different planets. There's more technology. He didn't have the technology to do it. I'm looking for it now. I'm going to find that clip for you.
That no, he did not. He only
Anzo's
had
on a mission now, boys.
What's that?
I said Anzo's on a mission now.
Yeah. No, I'm looking for it.
Like this is the thing, though. Like I said, I agree with both of you guys because I know for a fact he said both things. And the thing is, George Lucas he changed his accounting of it. So, Enzo, you're gonna find a clip of what you're looking for. I know you are because I have seen it too. But I've also seen him say what Chris Knight is saying. He said both things. So it's hard to tell what really was going on as far as Star Wars goes.
As time went on, he made up a different story every time because it made money. No, I'm not talking about story for Star Wars. I'm saying his story evolved every time because it made sense for what he wanted at the moment. When he first started, he had characters. He had no outline for
the only way a story can evolve is if he had something written for it. That's the only way you can evolve something. If he had nothing down there.
Wait. Did we not just talk? Yeah. Did we not just talk a while back about the fact that J.J. Abrams had to have an outline, and then we find out that no, he didn't?
I still don't believe that. I still believe he had some sort of outline. I still believe that because you haven't had.
And the other thing is, here's the fact of the matter: he had the very, very basics. He didn't know about Coruscant. He didn't know about any effects. He didn't know about anything. All he ever said about all he ever said about the effects was what he was doing right there and then. He didn't have anything. He didn't even have the effects to do what he wanted to do. He had to make things for Star Wars, not even thinking about.
gonna make me
He
go
didn't
back
even
and
think of the
watch all
prequel.
my
He
documentaries
knew,
just so that I
he
can prove you
knew
wrong, bro.
that he had characters. He knew who was going to be the main bad guy. He knew that Ben was going to be from that time. The Clone Wars was writing on a piece of paper. He didn't even think about what the Clone Wars actually was.
That part of the Clone Wars, you're right. That I remember hearing about, Chris.
He didn't know
But
anything
so
about the whole storyline, what was going to
so
show. He made
so
that up after the fact because he said, okay, so I've established that the Empire took over. I'm going to show how that happened. He remembered, I have the Clone Wars. I have to show people what happened. What was the Clone Wars? Hey, the Clone Wars could be what led us to the Empire taking over. He kind of took from the original trilogy and said, this would make sense to make this make sense. And he did
well,
what
of
a
course
good
he's gonna do that. But what
storyteller
I'm
did.
trying to
And
tell
he
you,
didn't have that up
yes, he
front. No, he didn't.
he had what he wanted. So you're saying when he wrote Star Wars, that's how he started it, right? He had no idea of Darth Vader or anything like that, Darth Vader's backstory or anything like that. He just had Luke Hamill, Darth Vader's the bad guy, right? He had the backstories to Darth Vader. He had the backstories to Palpatine. He had all of that. Yes, the story has changed over the years, but he knew what he was going to do with it. This is what I'm trying to say. He had a start and he had an end to it.
It started as, listen, okay, hold on.
I will find the clip. I'm still looking for it. YouTube keeps giving me this same old shit here, but I know it's in my documentaries. I can go back and easily find it. I just have to watch
Empire
them.
of Dreams, wasn't it, Anzo? I think it was Empire.
Yeah, but
of
Empire of
Dreams.
Dreams. Understand, Empire of Dreams is long after the old ones that I've had on.
Doesn't matter. I'm going with his words, though.
He changed those
He's
words.
Sitting. No.
In
It doesn't matter.
77,
It doesn't matter. If he
yes,
changed
it
those words,
does.
he was sitting.
What
He was
says in
sitting there,
77
and
is what happens.
but it wasn't 77 though. The video came out
What I'm saying
around
is,
the prequels. He says
so he
why.
changes his story.
I'm not saying he didn't change the story, Chris. You're not understanding me. He changed the story, but you have to have a story to change it.
No,
There has
you're
to be
not
some kind of
listening to
story
me.
for you to change it.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the story of
George
Star Wars.
Lucas
George Lucas
changed
what
his
he told people.
his idea of what he was doing. Okay, as time went on, he changed the things he was saying about how he thought about doing these movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's
he
what
didn't
he means
have
by story.
anything other than characters.
Even
and
I'm
other
seeing
than idea.
He might have had a general idea, just like anybody would be able to have an imagination about something.
Around,
that's what I'm saying.
2
it's
years
saying right here that he wrote episode 1 in 1994.
Exactly. That's when he
I know
came
that.
up with the prequel. He didn't have that outline though in 73.
And what motivated
He might have had a general idea.
What motivated him to do episode 1 was the fact of that 3-book trilogy that I was talking about was getting so much fame, and it was selling like crazy.
All right.
That's what
Jedi,
pushed him to episode 1.
Jedi was a word that Lucas coined to describe a clan of warriors, mystic, who were essential to his story. A man whose fascination for Japanese cinema had become a general interest in Japanese culture, history. He named after the branch of Japanese drama that drew moral and instructive lessons from stories set in the past. And I can't say it to give it credit. It's a Japanese word. The version is set 33rd century and features a teenage princess, droids, an evil empire, a grizzled Jedi warrior, a General Skywalker, whose plot roles resemble Luke from the finished film. Although his character is Obi-Wan Kenobi's. It climaxes with the space dogfight and ends with medal ceremony. Among the planets are Alderaan, but in the Imperial the Imperial capital, that's originally what it was. Yavin, at this point, the Wookiee homeworld, and some characters from his draft, Valorum, Mace Windu, would eventually find a home in the Phantom Menace more than 20 years later. But by May, Lucas had a 132-page script, The Adventure of Anakin Skywalker. Skywalker had acquired the forename Luke, but was no longer the protagonist. This was Anakin Starkiller. one of the sons of the General Skywalker's old comrade, or one of his General Skywalker's old comrade. The partially mechanical renegade Kane Starkiller, Anakin had to protect Princess aided by 2 droids. Lucas had worked backwards from Flash Gordon, looking to uncover the source of his appeal, hoping to transfer it to his own story. Once he had worked his way through the comic strips of Gordon's creator, Alex Raymond, he tackled Edgar Rice Burroughs, Jules Verne, Edwin Arnold's Gulliver on Mars, conversations with his new Hollywood peers, and the archetypes thrown up by his reading, and which he increasingly saw everywhere, brought him into contact with Joseph Campbell's then newly published Myths to Live By in 1972, an anthology of lectures and essays from blah, blah, blah. The book began to focus what I had already been doing intuitively, Lucas said later, an idea which seemed to him itself to reinforce Campbell's contention that such archetypes and situations dwelled in the collective unconsciousness. Lucas expanded his reading to epics of all kinds and began planning a visual style that would combine the vistas of Japanese master director Kurosawa and kind of static camera realism that he used on American Graffiti. Lucas wanted to expose colors. I'm looking for the actual parts that talk about it. Hold on.
Hanzo, I sent a link in private chat. I think that's what you're looking for, bro. Read the answer to that on that page. Because I agree with you somewhat, Hanzo. I think he did have an imaginatory outline, like
that's
that
what I'm
Star Wars. I'm sure he sat there and thought about it, just like I think about Prometheus every day. I have no clue. I have no doubt in my mind that he thought this stuff out.
The script
Did he
development.
have a script? No.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I never said he had a script.
I know you're not saying that. Yeah, I know you're not saying that. I'm with you.
Development money gave Lucas enough to live on whilst he continued to do the screenplay as he did. So it changed again. A Kyber crystal was written in and written out. Skywalker became Deck Starkiller, overweight younger brother, before becoming the farm boy familiar to the finished film. Characters swapped names, roles. A new character, Darth Vader, sometimes a rogue Jedi, sometimes a member of the rival Knights of Sith, had his role expanded. Some drafts killed him during the explosion of the Death Star. Others allowed him to survive, and across subsequent drafts, his role grew. Some previously major characters disappeared altogether, pushed back into
You're losing me, bro. You're losing me.
Wait, listen. Some previous major characters disappeared altogether, pushed into a backstory. Lucas choosing to develop the particular realizable aspects of his story. So he dropped things immediately and said, I'll put that back here and I'll go to it later. He never focused on that. He focused on what he could do at the moment. He didn't even give it that thought.
Hold on.
No, he gave it thought. I'm sure he gave it thought. Someone who loves that stuff, you just don't stop thinking about it.
This is an important clarification to the idea that Star Wars always was a part of a larger saga. One later incarnated in its sequels and prequels. That's true, but not in an absolute literal way. Star Wars itself is an excerpted chunk of a vast plot line. The rest of which was then made over the next few decades. It's a distillation of vast, abstract, finished. See, you're going to read something that's from long past the time that he was talking about.
I'm not going to read something. I'm looking for his words out of his mouth. I don't read that shit. I'm looking for words that came out of his mouth.
Out of his mouth changed after the original
Doesn't matter.
trilogy.
These were his words. Hold on.
So everything somebody told you is
and I'm not talking.
absolute.
Hold on. No. The words came out of his mouth, and the words came out during the prequels, not during the original trilogy.
That's the problem. It's after. So what he says before that, what he said in the 70s, what he said in the early 80s, that is what was real. What he says
Why?
after the fact is, I want people to
Why?
believe that I've always had this in mind.
Why? He had to have had it all in mind, Chris.
No, he didn't.
Oh God. Okay. No problem.
He
I'll
didn't.
find it and I'll send you to you. As soon as I find it, I'll send it to you.
Oh, all right, guys, I got his phone number. 1 second.
I know Ninja will find it for me. I hear an echo. Why do I hear echo?
So do I. Yeah.
Too.
Sorry, you didn't hear the phone ring there?
Oh, you're calling him?
Yeah.
Ninja did
Supposed to hear a
send me
phone ring.
something.
We did.
Ninja did send me something. Oh yeah, it's the same video I was just watching. But I have to find it. So Ninja, if you're in the chat, see if you can find the spot for me.
I mean, I don't even need to even hear any of that. I mean, I agree with Anzo, man. You don't come up with a dream like that and don't have any thought
He
whatsoever.
had characters. That was it.
Yeah, I don't think let's not talk quantized
But
here.
even if
the
you have
question was, did he have any idea that the prequels were going to exist? And I'm going to say yes.
Hold
he
on.
thought
No.
that he had a
What were you gonna say,
storyline
guys?
for something
What were you
if
going to
it
say,
came
guys?
up to it.
I was saying, even if you have characters, right? And this, when I was in animation, this was the fact. You develop your characters, but each character has a background, an idea,
Yes.
which links one to each other.
Yes.
Which you build off of that in order to start building it in with story or whatever and how they coordinate.
Exactly.
But it's I forgot the word for it, but it's basically a
character
starting point.
development.
Yes, that's one, but there's something else when you have all that. But anyways, I can't remember right now. But
Correlation.
Yeah, correlation, exactly. And then you build that, their history. They have each their bio background, and then you just make shit up and you see how he ties in. So obviously he changed his mind multiple times because fuck. Look at all the shit that was in his head, all those characters he made.
He changed his mind from Star Wars to Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader was never meant to be Luke's father until he started writing Empire Strikes Back.
He didn't write Empire Strikes Back.
Well, you know what I mean. He didn't write it.
Makes a big difference, actually.
Yeah, but it's his story. It's his story. He tells the man what he wants in the
hired
story,
writers.
and the guy writes it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He tells what he wants, and they wrote it, right? But in his mind, when he first did Star Wars, it was never Empire Strikes Back to be his father.
Hey, I'm gonna drop out and listen to this real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, let me drop out and let me listen to this real quick, and I'll be back.
Deja vu.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Meanwhile, at the lair of horrors, 6 people sit patiently while one person loses his mind.
I know. I'm 100% sure it's in this video. I just can't be watching it and trying to deal with the show at the same. You know what? Fuck it.
Nindroid says, looks like 50 seconds, and up.
56. Yeah.
I'm thinking that's 56 seconds.
Yeah, that's what he said.
56 seconds or 56 minutes.
I'm going to it now. This is what we do, guys. Heated debates.
Flash Thompson, just call me a super dog. Hey, crypto.
Hold on.
Arf.
No, he called you Lex Luthor.
No, I'm freaking Fisk. Fisk. I am Fisk. All right. Right.
You that fire?
We have the same barber though.
Yeah, we do.
Don't forget a blind man kicked your ass.
What?
Who?
Coming from the guy who tries to show Bud on a green screen.
Did I noticed that too? Yeah.
I forgot it was that green. Okay, sorry.
No. Complete that sentence. You forgot it was that green twice. That is the second time you've tried to do that.
I thought I turned it down. Okay.
Go, bro.
Understand.
Just smoke it, man.
And
Don't
he
worry
had
about
superpowers, by the way. Okay, he wasn't just blind. He's a blind man with superpowers. Leave that little tidbit out.
LDG.
What?
I have a question.
I have an answer.
I hope so.
I don't think that's it, Nindroid. I'm listening to it. I don't think that's it. Because the one I seen is where he says that he started with 4 because he couldn't get to do the technology wasn't there for 1 and 6. I'll find it though. I'll go back and watch these damn documentaries, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, either or, like Aishka said, he had to have some kind of idea of where he was gonna go. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. And that's what Disney needs to do. If they are going to do a Star Wars movie, they need to have the start and the end. Now, my question is, do you guys want to see one-offs or do you guys still want to see trilogies? Don't everybody answer at once.
I was still go for
Sorry, I was
trilogies.
actually. Say that again.
I was still go for trilogies.
Yeah, but as long as the first one of the trilogy, I'm talking about they do a smash up job on.
They're trying to see ones off, and if one does good, yeah, make a couple of sequels out of that one off that actually did successful.
Well, Force Awakens was successful, right? It was successful when you talk about it money-wise.
That's good.
Technically, The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker were too. Technically,
yeah, they were.
I mean,
All right, Anzo.
Yes.
I don't know if I got it, but I think I got it. Quote from George Lucas's mouth: "I had the Star Wars project in mind even before I started my last picture, American Graffiti. And as soon as I finished, I began writing Star Wars in January 1973. Lucas is quoted as saying, in the Star Wars souvenir program via The Secret History of Star Wars, in fact, I wrote 4 entirely different screenplays for Star Wars, searching for the right ingredients, characters, and storyline." I don't know if that's what you're looking for or if that means anything, but it sounds like he wrote 4 screenplays when he wrote Star Wars, the first one.
That is correct.
No,
there were many screenplays. There was many screenplays because that I don't think that's it either, because Luke Skywalker was known as Luke Skykiller. You know what I mean? So he changed a lot of things.
Fighters.
Bring Chris back up.
Yeah,
Bring Chris
I
back.
see him there. I see him.
All right. Yes. He's always said, I have many different drafts, and he took people in, took people out. So the rough draft was the script began in the winter of 73, and he had The Adventures of Star Killer, the Star Wars first draft, the Star Wars story synopsis, all sorts of stuff. But here, Journey of the Wills Part 1. The Journey of the Wills Part 1 in 1973 was a handwritten 2-page partial outline of the story that would, after many further rewrites and exploration of ideas, be the Star Wars 1977 script. He had a 2-page outline that had all these people in it, and it even says here the outline begins.
You can give me all these things you want.
Wait, listen.
But I wanted
the
to
outline
come from
begins.
his mouth. I know what I saw.
The story. Wait, listen. This is the story of Mace Windu and a revered Jedi Bendu of Fuchi, as related to us by C.J. Thorpe, Padawan learner of the famed Jedi Thorpe, called either C.J. or C2. It switches back and forth in the document and actually stands for something I'm not going to even
Chris,
try.
you're not saying that. All those words you bring, you're not saying that.
It was a 2-page outline.
That's not from George Lucas, though. I'm telling you, what I heard was from George Lucas's mouth, and I'm trying to find it. I will find it. Trust me.
Listen, I have a 77 documentary here that I'll send you, and it doesn't even say anything about any of that. Yeah, Danny.
What do you say? Yeah, go ahead, Donnie. What you got? You're back.
Well, you see, okay.
Are you talking about this Great Jedi?
No,
Great Jedi.
You're gonna go find. So
that's a whole different topic.
wait. I do have to go because it's
Mhm.
10:30 now. All right. So you're going to go find something from 90-ish, right? Somewhere around that, the 90s.
I'm gonna find
When he
something
started-
that
no,
George.
you're going to
that
find
came
something from the
out-
90s.
No, 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 no,
What
no,
I'm
no,
going
no,
to
no, no.
find is
Doesn't
I'm going to find
matter.
something from the 70s because the
Doesn't matter
70s would have
what-
been his first
doesn't-
words, and he
doesn't matter what
doesn't. He
decade it
even
was.
says he only had
Doesn't
generic,
matter.
and when I say generic ideas, generic ideas of characters.
Doesn't matter what decade
Yes,
it
it
was.
does.
I'm coming with a video coming from his mouth. That's what I'm saying.
So what he said in 77 doesn't matter.
What he said in 2000 or
So
whatever
wait, I
doesn't
got a
matter.
question.
No,
Can I be hypothetical for a second? Let me be hypothetical.
Yeah,
for a second.
go
So
ahead.
let's say in 1978, I thought I was a black guy, and then in 1995, I thought I was a white guy. But my
not the
thoughts
same
of
thing.
1975 doesn't matter, right?
Brutality.
That
doesn't
doesn't
exist?
matter. No,
That's that's all I want to know.
Test your might.
Fight.
But I'm
Later,
shocked
Chris.
I didn't get Phantom Zone for that.
No, you get Phantom Zone. First time on the show, you won't get Phantom Zone.
You
But-
can't know, Chris.
I know Nindroid will come true with what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? You see, even Nindroid said it was a 15-page outline. I know Nindroid will come with what I'm looking for because Nindroid's a Star Wars man. So if I tell Nindroid, yo, Nindroid, I need you to find this for me, he'll find it for me. But in the documentary, George Lucas literally says he started with Luke Skywalker, episode 4, because, and it wasn't called episode 4. He didn't even say he called it episode store. He said he started in the middle of the what he had. He started in the middle because he could not and did not have the technology to do what he wanted to do for the first part of the story.
So Anzo,
Reasonable
Yeah.
to believe.
tell me how you really feel.
Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm
No,
good.
like I said, I
Chris
agree
is the
with
one
both
that
of you
got
guys.
mad.
I've seen that.
But you do realize that
Chris
you
pulled
guys
a
were
Danny.
arguing the same points though for like a good 5 minutes.
Chris pulled a Danny. You know, Chris pulled a Danny. He said, "Fuck it," and left. But it's all good. I'll find that information and I'll clip it ass and I'll send it to his ass and then we'll see. You know what I mean? Because Chris is the type of one, he'll say something and he'll say, "Yeah, I'll get you that information," and I'm still looking for the information on Grey Jedis. Still waiting
Grey
for that
Jedi?
one.
What,
Yeah.
what are you looking for about it?
What do you want to know about him?
They don't exist in canon.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, in canon. Here we go with the canon.
I
In
have a
canon,
book.
Yes.
I've got a
They-
book
they
in my
exist
other
in
room
the
that talks
EU.
about Grey Jedi.
Yes.
You want me to bring it?
They-
I'll give you a little excerpt.
No. There's a. I
Tired
know
of the
that
whole
it's-
if a tree was cut down and nobody heard it, did it fall?
But it's all
bullshit. Of
expanded
course, it was
universe.
great
They don't
Jedi,
exist.
man. Come on.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. It's all
And
expanded
actually, you
universe,
can
it's not
say
canon.
that
Yeah.
in Rebels, it was. What was the guy's character there that was with Ventress?
No. They never mentioned Grey Jedi once.
talking about
in
the
any of the Star
Bendu?
Wars canon.
Yeah.
No, the
Yeah.
closest
Bendu
they
said,
get to
I
Grey
am-
Jedi is Ahsoka after Rebels, but they don't even say it. She's
Yeah.
just there. She's not a Jedi.
Right.
She has white lightsabers. She's just a Force user. That's all
Right.
she is.
She would be the closest thing, but they never call her a Grey Jedi. So
Yeah.
Oh,
in canon,
there is one
We
other
said the
thing.
same thing about the
is also
Chupacabra. We
Rebels.
found out that was
The
real.
Bendu.
Oye,
The
Majo, no hable de
Bendu is-
Chupacabra.
yeah, the Bendu.
The Bendu is between the light and the dark. He's in the middle.
Mhm.
But he never
Mhm.
calls himself a great Jedi. He doesn't even associate
Exactly.
with the Jedi.
Exactly.
Which I think the
That's
Bendu
exactly
was
what
Grey
it
pretty
is.
Jedi
awesome.
just
I would love a story around the Bendu, man. The Bendu was fucking cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, Danny. What were you gonna say?
the Grey Jedi is just a name that stuck. It really was nothing that George Lucas made. It's nothing that it's just something that somebody said. I don't know whether it was a fan or someone in
It was a term.
the Lucasfilm organization. It is a phrase that stuck, and then people are taking it for like, okay, that's all it was, a term. Just like, no, there's nothing to back it up. I've watched every episode of Clones backwards and forward, every episode of Rebels backwards and forward. There's nothing that says.
Is there any
Grey
evidence
Jedi.
against it? Is there any evidence against it?
Neither.
No evidence for
Thank
it.
you. So
No.
that means it could exist.
Yeah, exactly.
No. It
Yes.
has to be it has to be mentioned
You're not listening
in
to
canon
me.
for it
I
to
said
exist.
could exist.
No, and
Yes.
not in canon.
Somebody
No.
could make it
Why not?
eventually.
Canon
Huh?
is what you make
They
of it.
could-
Stop saying
No,
the
no,
word canon. I'm sick and tired of the
not,
word canon.
No, canon
Okay?
is not what
Canon
you
is
make
what
of
you
it.
make it.
No,
End
it's
of
not.
story.
Canon, no, it's
Yes,
not.
it is because they've
No, it's not.
destroyed
No,
the word
it's not.
canon.
The
No,
Canon
it's
no
not.
longer means
Guys,
what it's supposed to mean.
Canon is not.
the term came. It's a term. It's not
Mhm.
that it's
Yes.
canon or not. It's a term that the fans adopted with Jedi's or Sith that were neither Jedi or Sith. Or
Yes.
once they confronted
Mhm.
the Jedi Council, or went against the Jedi Council, or went against the Sith Council. That's why a lot,
Yes.
like if you check
Yes,
it out, like
but-
you'll even there's even documents, not documents, but people talking about how Qui-Gon, right? He went against the Jedi Order and he didn't agree with a lot of things that the Jedi Order was doing, and
Damn, I
you know,
can't get the whole picture.
and still exactly
Again.
and still do whatever he had, right? But
Again.
it's a term. It's not a thing that exists. It's just a term that, like, you know, it's true. It can exist, but it's a term. It's nothing.
I wanna
official.
put my whole picture in.
nothing
You can
official.
even think of it this way:
Yeah.
in order to change sides, you have to go through gray
Exactly.
because you have
And
to
that's what
lose
the term
faith.
came from.
You have to lose faith in the light, and then see that you want to go to the dark. For that split moment, you're gray.
There is no Jedi in canon. It was never mentioned, and if it's not mentioned, it does not exist.
No, that's the negative way of thinking of it.
No. Yeah, Grey Jedi came from the EU, and those things have been mentioned
sorry,
that
I
they
can't-
are not part of the Disney Star Wars canon. So in canon,
Sorry,
Grey Jedi does not exist.
nope. Unless they specifically said there's no
Yes,
such thing
they
as gray
have.
canon. Gray.
Hold on,
When?
you want me to find it for you?
You guys
You want me
just
to find it
told.
for you?
Danny just said there was
Hold on.
nothing against
Hold on,
Gray
hold
Jedi.
Hold on, because I showed it to him before.
Because I'm tired of that negative thinking. That's people who argue that point just because it didn't happen. It doesn't exist. That's what you call the negative spin.
All right,
It's
That's
not a
how
negative
wars
spin.
are started. That's how people
Listen.
screw up and make huge mistakes in their life when
Mhm.
they automatically think that way.
Hey,
But hang on.
Check your Twitter DM.
Hang on.
Yeah,
You are correct. Yes, it was never mentioned in canon. But Ahsoka right now, is we have seen, and we have just recently seen on the last episode of The Mandalorian, is the closest thing in an embodiment of a Grey Jedi.
Actually, there's a quote from a comic to Voka, a Wookiee Jedi,
Danny
that
is
said,
holding up. Is that something?
Jin
Sorry, go ahead.
always does things his own way, always sure he is right, always incredulous. If he does not see it his way, some think he is a gray Jedi.
Yeah, but where was that at?
That's what I'm trying to look for it. It's
not
from a
canon.
comic.
What's
From a
what's
comic.
Danny holding up? Danny, what is that? Is there proof in that book? What is? I'm not
bought this
familiar with that
It-
book.
It is the Central Guide to the Force, the Jedi. Tells all about the Jedi, all about the Sith. There's nothing in here about a Gray Jedi. I don't read this book
But
backwards
that
and
okay,
forwards.
that doesn't mean anything though. There's no
Oh my
evidence there. I need
God, bro.
evidence.
Because
Hey,
I want
Oh,
evidence.
hold
Just
on.
give
You
me
want
evidence and I'll
evidence?
shut the
Hold
hell
on.
up.
okay, because I'm about to shut you
I'll-
the fuck up right now. Hold
I'll,
on.
I'll come up. I will
Hold
be
on,
on your
hold on,
side.
hold on.
I will fight to
Hold
the
on.
day I
Phantom
die
Zone.
next
Here.
to you.
It's
Just
really
show
busy
me
today.
evidence.
What's that?
damn.
Can you read that? Can you read that right here? Can you read
Yeah,
that?
from a wiki
There
site.
are
Okay,
no
what does it
Grey
say?
Jedi in canon right now. In canon,
Who's
the
saying
closest
that
thing
though?
we
That's a
have-
wiki site.
That's Star Wars
It's
fandom.
not.
Who is saying that? That is a fandom wiki site that anybody could make.
Okay,
I
but
want
that's
it
where,
from
but that's
the
but that's
licensor's
exactly,
mouth.
Hold on, no.
That's no different than you and Danny telling me there's no such thing as a. You don't know. You're nobody. Give it to me from the creators that said there is no such thing. There is no possibility. There is nothing. You guys
I'm
have
feeling
made it
like
up and
nobody
it don't
right now.
exist. And I will shut up. I'll be on your side and I'll root on F Grey Jedi. They don't exist.
Yeah,
But
my
until you
fountain-
show me something like that,
Hold on, let me
they
finish.
could exist.
Hold on. Let me finish. Okay. because you're saying the term Gray Jedi came from the same fucking kind of sites. So how can you say that it's okay to say that when I bring up a site that says it's not? And it's like, oh, well, it doesn't exist because that's from that site. When
Because
the term
I'm not
Gray
saying
Jedi came
they
from,
do exist.
but Gray Jedi came from the same site.
I just said it's a term. That's all.
Yeah.
It
dude,
is a
I'm
term.
not saying
and
they.
it's a term.
You're saying
it's a
they
term,
don't exist. I'm not
They
saying
do
they
not
do
exist
exist.
in canon. They were not mentioned in canon. They do not exist in canon until they say
You're saying
Great
they
Jedi
do,
in
yes.
canon. Until they say Great Jedi in canon, they do not exist, and
But
that's
they
a fact.
could exist.
I'm
They
not
don't
saying
exist, but they
but that's
they
what
don't
I'm saying.
exist and could exist. But like
They do not
both
exist.
can be true. Both can
They
be
do
true.
not exist.
They do
could
not exist
if
because they haven't mentioned, but they could exist because they haven't been mentioned
If
or ruled
Disney
out.
decides to mention it, then they could do that. But until they do, Dre Jedi does not exist in canon.
They could
So
exist.
it could
There's
not.
nothing
If
you
they
said.
do not exist,
They could.
they can't exist
Okay.
because they don't.
I still think
They
they
don't.
could. You haven't shown me any proof otherwise.
And you haven't shown me proof that they do.
You got to remember, I'm a Star Trekkie. I'm a Trekkie. Okay. Q
Yeah,
taught us.
Yeah.
From Q's own words, it's not about mapping stars and nebula. It's about charting the unknown possibilities of existence. And
Don't bring no Star Trek quotes into a real fucking argument, bro. We're talking real shit here, and you're bringing in some fucking Star Wars.
Maybe it's
some
not real
Star
shit.
Trek
It's all
quote.
fantasy.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We're talking some real shit.
Yes.
No, we're
Yes,
not
you're
talking
right.
real shit. Yeah. This
Star
is
Wars
real,
is
all
real.
right.
Yes,
You will
Star
not.
Wars is
You will.
real. Yes, Star
You will
Wars
not
is
Phantom
real.
Zone. And what the hell? You're
you
talking
missed-
about Phantom Zone. That's not
Hold
even
on,
Star Wars there,
hold on,
Mrs.
hold on.
Superman. Will not
Yeah, I know,
Phantom
whatever.
Zone LDG
I
again.
took that from Danny. That's why. So Danny's a Star Trek fan. I should
Star
Phantom
Wars
Zone his
my
ass for
ass.
that alone. But
You
what
see
I'm
my
saying-
avatar right now? It says Star Wars canon. Want some? It's a fucking turbo laser. Unfortunately, I can't
There
show the whole
could be
picture. Fire
Gray
engine.
Jedis could exist.
Gay Jedi's do not exist.
I hope
I'm
gay
gonna read my
Jedi's don't
points.
exist.
It's
Gay
based
I hope
on
that
Jedis
is.
can't
what's your post, Shifty Gizm? Sorry.
I see your Swartz as big as mine.
Watch the movies. Watch the movies. Give you answers about the shades. I kind of lost you there somewhere. So write it again, Shifty Gizm, and I'll put it up. Have y'all considered that you might be taking this all too seriously? No.
Yes.
We're just having nerd fights. It's all good.
Yes.
We do it. I mean, me and
nerd
LDG
fights.
do it all the time.
Yep.
It ain't nothing personal. When it's done, it's
Exactly.
over. We laugh about it. Simple and plain. You know what I mean?
Finish him.
Nothing
Actually,
from
the
Trek.
show's,
I agree.
actually, when the show's over with, we all go backstage and what the fuck were you thinking? It's just
The term. It's a
The
term
fight
from
will go
EU.
on.
It's a Nindroid said it's a term from EU, and EU was never canon.
yes, exactly.
That's
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
Like I said, you're absolutely correct. 1 through 9, Rogue One, Solo, Clone Wars, Rebels, all of it. Whenever Disney took over. No, when Disney took over, 7, 8, and 9, all of it together. Not
And-
even just Disney's,
and-
just whatever's
and I'm a-
considered canon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Eh, Nowhere has
using
it
that
ever, never has the term Great Jedi been mentioned. But like I said, Ahsoka is the closest thing we'll ever get without them even mentioning it, because she
But-
was a Jedi. She led the
No,
order.
she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Ahsoka was never a Jedi. That's my point too.
Yeah, she
Ahsoka
was.
was never. No, she was not. Ahsoka was never given
What is she?
the name
She was
of
a
Jedi.
Padawan. She never.
Yes,
She
she
was
was.
never.
Great Jedi.
Well,
No,
okay,
she
you're right
was
there.
She was a
never-
You're
Jedi
right.
Padawan.
Nope.
That's still
She
a
was a
Jedi.
Padawan.
No, a Padawan is not a Jedi.
Yes, it is.
So what
No,
is
it's
she?
not.
She's dark
A
side or light
Padawan
side?
is a
What's going on?
Padawan. You have to
She
do
was
your
never-
trials to
She
be.
was never a Jedi Knight. She was always a Padawan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
and
Right.
you have to do your
Right.
trials to become the title of Jedi. Because
She
even
was
in
at night.
because even in Revenge of the Sith, Yoda says you can do the Chancellor, but we don't give you the title of Jedi.
It's true.
Yeah, No, no,
Absolutely right.
I understand all that. You know, I got you. But she walked
She
away
was
from
great.
the Jedi. She walked away from the Jedi.
Mhm.
I know she was only a Padawan, but she walked away from it, and now she just does the right thing. But you know, she lives pretty much in the light. But the way she presents herself, her characteristics, makes
I'm gonna
her
check that now.
a great Jedi.
So she's
I know
gay
she's
then.
not. I know she's not. But with the white blades and the way she presents herself, yeah, and all her characteristics. That's what we got. Is it canon? No. Is it ever mentioned? No. But in character, that's what we got. Now we're just
It's
waiting on
funny.
them to
Her
release
hair's
it.
freaking gray, for God's sakes.
God
Well, she's got a
damn it.
gray. She's got a what is that? A gray lightsaber?
White. It's supposed to be white.
That looks
Austin,
gray to
like I
me,
said,
brother.
she was
Supposed to be
never-
white. Who
She wasn't.
said that?
Never officially gonna. What
never
about
did
us?
the-
What hair are we talking about?
Hair?
Her
What hair are
freaking
you
her
talking-
mane is gray.
Where?
2 shades
No,
of
it's
gray.
white. No, it's white.
That's gray. That's not white.
That's what
you
it
might be
always looks
looking
like.
at a different picture, but it's supposed to be
I'm
white.
looking at a whole bunch of pictures, brother, and I see 2 shades of gray.
That's a whole different movie.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real.
Oh man, because
Yeah, because her
I'm looking
Montrals are
right
white.
at it, dude. That is
Yeah,
freaking gray.
no, those are white, bro.
No, that is
Yeah.
not white. White has no
Oh.
shades in it. White is white.
Hold
Okay, enlighten us, LDG, please.
I'm looking at the photos. Google her. I'm seeing gray.
That's not white in that picture. That's not white.
White is a shade of gray. There is white and gray.
Why
The only difference is white.
is
That
white
is gray.
Lord.
That is not pure white.
White is the combination
Difference
of black
between your
and
white background and her head. That is white. Above her head is white. Her head is gray.
Wait a minute.
That
Wait
is
a minute.
not
Wait a
white.
minute. Hang on. Hold on. Hold on.
LD.
Hang on. He's right.
Look
He's
at what-
right. She's got a metal like hair clip right on her forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, that is not pure white. I'm sorry. That is gray.
Those
Look at the
triangular
shirt.
pieces.
Look at the shirt behind her. Look at the chick's elbow, her left shoulder. Look at the chick behind her. She's wearing white. Her head
What color is that,
the last
LDJ?
picture you just had.
Okay, but what
The last
color is that,
picture.
LDG?
Still gray.
It's
Who
white.
fucking cares?
That's
I
gray.
still see shades of gray in there.
That's
white.
Has to be purple.
Her clothes is even a
What the
darker
fuck?
gray, and her lightsabers are
But
gray.
first off,
That
why
is
are we
not white.
arguing? Why did you even bring up her hair? Why are we talking?
I
about
don't
her
know.
hair?
I'm just doing this. Man, you know I love you, right?
Friendship.
I'm just trying to figure out where did the hair thing come into this?
I don't know.
You know,
That's why I'm
I
trying to
don't
figure
know.
out.
I'm just
It's
pointing out some random
it's a
shit,
complex
dude.
of inferiority.
About Flash, I explained the gray Jedi thing
There you
came
go.
from. Damn.
White is
50.
white.
You know,
Pure white.
I can't go all the way back up and find that. You know.
Through all the crap that Ahsoka's been through as a Padawan, she should have honorarily been through the trials already.
That is correct.
'Cause
Donnie just
especially
sent
when-
me an article.
Especially when she was stuck on that planet with the Transocean hunters and the other Padawans.
Hmm.
That should have been considered her trials.
Which one? Sorry.
The article in the private chat confirms what Gaskar said. It's in EU, but it talks about there is a gray Jedi code, but it's EU, not canon. So it's like what
Canon is what you make it.
It's just a term that caught and stuck. So I don't think it's anything that's proven with the other, unless Dave Filoni technically and physically says there is a gray Jedi. Right now, it's just something in the EU
Exactly.
that and EU and the canon is very divisive, because some of us on the panel here like EU better, some like yes like Disney better. I don't know. Some like the old Star Wars better. So it's, I guess, whatever you follow, whatever you like, whatever floats your boat.
There's a reason why they let these people write these stories. Okay. The word canon has been destroyed through the centuries, okay? The original definition of canon, none of this is canon. Ever since George Lucas gave up control, anything after that is technically, by the original first definition of canon, not canon. So you know what? F the dictionary. Boys and girls, they made the stories for you. Canon is what you make it, so make it a good one. Don't listen to anybody else who tells you otherwise.
From what I've got from dictionary, canon mainly refers to something that's biblical or something that's like ancient, like the Bible is canon because it can't be changed now. And I always say to my argument,
That's
is
correct.
canon does not exist because as long as someone owns whatever property, they can do whatever they want with it. Star Wars fans don't accept that. They mad and pissed off. Oh, they should let it stay like George Lucas did. No. When George Lucas sold that bad boy for $4 billion, he told Danny Graham hypothetically, okay, I just give you $4 billion. So I don't want to hear shit you got to say. I'm going to do what Danny Graham wants to say. That's what Disney, that's what Bob Iger, that's what Kathleen Kennedy, that's what Dave Filoni, whoever's in charge of it at a particular time is doing.
And also remember, the Bible was written by man.
Understand this, though.
All those men that read the Bible are dead, so you can't go back and rewrite it. That's why canon is
biblical canon and literature canon. There's two different words. Literature canon is the differential between a storyline created by the original creator and everybody else who continues the story after the original creator. That is the original literature term for canon. The second the original creator is gone, it's no longer canon.
LDG, we're talking about the movie and canon. We're not talking about the literal move. When we're talking about the literal
movie
canon,
is literature.
All
that is literature.
Okay, whatever. When we're talking about
literature.
canon, the movie was written by George Lucas, right? That's George Lucas canon. Disney brought it. Now, Disney has every right to change what they want to change, right? Because they bought Star Wars,
but not canon.
But at the end of the day, it still ends up being canon. Whatever they do, now whatever Disney does is canon.
License allows you to continue the story.
If I go and write, no. If I go and write a Star Wars book, it's not canon. Anybody can write a Star Wars book, but it's not canon.
The definition of canon has nothing to do with who owns the license.
I'm not talking about the fucking definition of canon. Who gives a fuck about the definition of canon? I'm talking about the fucking movies. What it represents in the movies,
Canon.
That's what
That's all
called.
I keep hearing. It's freaking canon. Well, load the damn ball and shoot it already, okay? You're tired of hearing about canon.
I love this because now Andre feels my frustration when I be trying to explain stuff. Now, thank you, LDG. Thank you. Man, if I could tap you cash up you some money out
LDG is always
shoot
starting
cannons
shit.
at people.
Can you dig it?
Let the sequels die. Can't retcon if they have to.
What is Flash Thompson smoking tonight?
Jesus was black. Anyways, he had nappy hair, guys. Well, yeah.
There is a saying, because you can say or do something doesn't mean you have to say it or do it. Apply that to your comment, Flash Thompson.
Shit. Well, this was a definitely interesting show. Flash Thompson said, I keep hearing canon. Thought you said Nick Cannon. Shifty Gizm said, Gray Deadeye don't exist, but gray is essential in the forms to portray what alignments of the Force they are part of, much like Westerns. Sith wore black heroes, Luke, Rey wore white. Yeah, I guess, but again.
And at the end of Rebel, she's wearing gray, right?
Well, one thing I noticed about her, she never wore the Jedi traditional robes. She always.
I'd rather her wear nothing.
Her own thing, yeah.
Yeah, I found that one too.
Yeah, she always wore what she wanted to wear. She never wore the traditional.
I mean, even her
Jedi
face
stuff.
makeup doesn't look white; looks gray.
Why are you back on the fucking makeup for?
I guess the color plan's coming.
Dude, I know, you guys. I told you, I'm a Trekkie, man. I'm just trying.
Where does the
to
makeup
put
come
my
into
2 cents
this?
in there. I don't.
Why
know
is
stuff that, you know.
Why is he worried about makeup? That's what I'm
I
wondering
have
about.
no idea. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why is the fact that it may be gray, white, whatever?
Hey.
Yeah,
Just
I see you.
over there. What?
Yeah, I see
What?
you.
You got
I see you.
Danny, you got something to say? You got something to say
I'm
there,
whistling
Mr.
Star
Whistler?
Trek, bro.
Whistling Dissy?
I'm whistling
What?
Star Trek.
What are you trying to
You
say?
know what? I got
I'm
something to
whistling
say,
Star
though.
Trek.
You know I got something to say, right? Pickles?
Yeah, I bet.
Phantoms on your ass. That's right. I phantoms on your ass again today. Oh, shit.
Look at that. He's telling you number
I
one.
might go watch some Star Trek tonight.
I think we'll just leave him back in there until we end the show. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can see you there, Pickles. Yeah, I'm gonna leave your ass back there. But with that being said, guys, it was a great show. It's 2.5 hours, 2:45. So we'll close it up.
Wow.
The Anzo
Yeah, that was a long
and
one.
LDG got matching chairs. Look, they got matching chairs. What's up with that?
Yeah, man. I tell you, I want to go
What
home
do you
and
mean
bunker rest.
Anzo and LDG?
No, they don't.
He doesn't
Actually,
match my chair.
I
chair right here.
I stole my son's chair. This is my son's chair.
You actually took
Oh,
it?
these seats are better now, or
I
what?
took it.
Okay.
It's all right. I'm still sitting on a freaking couch pillow.
It took LDG like 10 days to put that chair together.
I know, right? I know, right? When I was putting my desk together, I got
Took a
halfway through
while.
and I was like, shit, I should have made a video like LDG did because that should have been funny, bro. At one point I was sitting
That's
there, I'm
on
like, what the fuck?
Pixelate,
fuck does
guys.
this go?
Me putting my
Where does
chair
that go?
together. Check it out.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Those pictures,
when I was put,
pictures don't match.
no,
You be
sometimes
like,
they don't.
What the hell? This
No.
does not match nothing I see in this box.
And the
Tell me about
picture,
it.
right? The picture
Yep.
had a piece of wood that was labeled number 1. And I kept looking for fucking number 1. I couldn't find number 1. I was like, 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 7. I'm like, where the fuck is number 1? The fucking 7
All right,
was the number
You
1.
Was the
want to see
one.
something funny?
Yeah.
What?
It looked
Let me-
like
let
a
me tell you
7, but it
something.
was number 1.
Let me tell you something. How do you think I felt when I finished building my chair and I was about to sit down for the first time, knowing there were 3 screws left?
Oh, hell.
These are the 3 screws left over from my chair.
That is a fuck
And I'm
up
like,
right there, buddy.
I don't know if I'm.
Those are extra pieces that throw in there in case you lose one or two, dude. That's why.
Yeah,
I know.
it's
I'm
possible.
making a joke, man.
Theoretically.
Damn, man.
Mm-hmm. But
No.
some things you
You know-
order, they
you
don't
know,
give extra
They
pieces.
actually said it in the instructions. Thank God. It
Those
said,
three
"Yeah, you
Alright.
got extra screws."
They're supposed to hold down the sides of your cushion so you wouldn't ride up your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
On a further
Appreciate
note,
it, fellas. I appreciate it. I guess.
Whenever you're ready. Yeah, we're gonna close it up, Donnie. So tell the people about your channel.
I am Danny, AKA Comet Chat, 1/3 of the Chaos crew, which consists of me, Anzo, and Chris Knight. We have 3 different shows. The first 3 nights of the week. Monday is my show. Tuesday, tonight is Anzo's show, and tomorrow will be Chris' show, The Rule of 3. Then we get together on Saturday and do what they call Square One, where it talks strictly sports. It's going to be on this last boxing match. I hope y'all saw it last Saturday. We will definitely be talking about that this Saturday. I've seen probably about 100 memes with Nate Robinson, so he pretty much destroyed his career, in my opinion. But that's for another show. Enjoy
never really
always
had a
talking to y'all guys.
Mm-hmm.
3-time slam dunk championship. That's something to kind of hang your hat on. But
No,
I
it
don't
may
know if
ruin
that's
the
enough.
history, yeah, but yeah, I hear you.
But as always, I enjoy talking to y'all guys, man. It's always a good time. I had to dip out tonight. My wife is good. The doctor checked out.
Everything
Everything's
okay?
good to go.
Okay.
Yep. So nothing serious. So I'm happy about that. Thankful for that.
Mhm.
Thank you for all y'all asking. I appreciate it. And until next week,
All right, man.
we'll catch you later.
Have a
Peace
good night,
out,
Danny.
Take care, Danny.
Much appreciated. All right. Ooh. God damn it, I froze again. So, guys, could talk about your channel while I go and fix this freezing shit again.
Well, y'all can subscribe to the Basco
Actually, you look
Scenario.
just fine there.
I don't have any anything up yet. It's going to be coming, but you can catch me. Anzel's gone. He's going to talk about it, but you can catch me on the OOC tomorrow on Anzel's show. We talk about everything, get everything off our chests, as well as here, as well as the Mandalorian, and good to be here with amongst good people. Great chat. Keep it up. Hit likes on everybody's channel. Hit that bell, and I'll catch you next time. Right?
Y'all send it, Bill. Y'all send it, dude.
All right, man. Take care, guys.
Go ahead,
Elias,
Eli.
just sub number 8.
Okay, I am Elihu-Who. I
Seven.
can count everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And this Wednesday, since he left, okay. Well, this Wednesday, tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific time, which is specific the only time, we'll be talking about Hubble and some of its great discoveries. Yes, I talk astronomy, astrophysics, science. It's all fun. And I can be found sometimes on OGG channel, sometimes on JJ channel, sometimes on Jedi Bell 797 channel, sometimes on Chris Knight's, the Real Review 3000, the Rumble, sometimes on Vinyl Mics, Dot Hatzer. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time, so hey. And I'm also on Twitter.
Excellent. Great. I do appreciate that. JJ, did you go?
Go pitch time.
Nah, I was just letting them go on around.
All right. Pickles.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm LDG and I'm on fire.
That guy is a fire.
I was wondering when that was going to come out tonight.
That's worth it.
There's your fire, bro.
Wow. Hey, you need a light? There you go, brother.
Actually, yeah.
All right. What's up, guys? IT problems, questions, need help, want a free tune-up, need a new PC, anything you guys need at all. Need someone to give you a build. Hit me up, guys. LDG Pixels. I do usually try to do a rant stream every morning, make myself available, usually around 11 a.m. And then I do the waiting room afternoon, where I do open panel, open conversations, open topics, chilling, promoting other channels, telling you where to go, who to watch, what to do, to stream between the streams. And currently doing Project Prometheus to unlock the internet and give you power over your digital footprint, get you monetized, and give you control over what you want to see, think, and hear, instead of letting the big boys like YouTube and Twitter do it for us. Thank you very much, Anzo. Great show today, and may the force be with you.
No problem. Do appreciate that. I always love a good heated debate, so bring it anytime you want to, brother. I ain't scared of you at all. And JJ, you are next. Oh, I'm sorry. No, let Tim go. Tim,
Well, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Well,
talk about
my
your
name is
channel,
Tim
man.
Chris.
It's your first time on
I'm
there.
just a regular old YouTube grifter. I wind up on usually I'm hanging out on LDG's StreamYard. I don't really have much of a channel, just kind of chill and like to talk about sci-fi stuff. And I like to prove you guys wrong.
E-channel,
whenever I
Sue
can.
channel. My channel is your channel, brother.
Yep.
You got a
Do
channel.
appreciate you coming in, man. It was a pleasure having you on today. Do appreciate
Well,
that.
thank you for having me on.
Not a problem. JJ?
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit of everywhere, but starting on Sunday nights, you can find me twice on Chris Knight's channel, the Real Review 3000, and you can find me later on that evening on Honstar's channel, either for Name That Tune or Jackbox Game Night. You can find me Monday nights on my channel for randomness at its finest. A random my weekly live stream, a random panel, random topic type situation. Come by, check it out. What? What's so damn funny, yo?
What,
Take
you
a
reading
shot.
down here? Take a
What's
shot
that?
every
What?
time, LDG. We got some
Gets
drunk
phantoms on.
motherfuckers right now.
I ain't
Yeah,
drunk nothing,
exactly.
shit. But anyway, you can come by,
Hey, I
check
was
it out.
laughing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Every time he giggles, I think it's something nefarious.
I saw what you did there,
Well, I
JJ.
would too. I mean, look at him. He's on fire.
But yeah, come by, check it out. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff that goes with it. You can find me here on Tuesday nights with these fine gentlemen.
Where?
And then Really?
I don't know, like where?
And then you can find me sometimes Thursday nights on back on Chris's channel for the weekly Rumble. Sometimes as a contestant or a combatant, as I like to say, or sometimes he throws a wrench in the works, and I come in as a wild card. And you can also find me on Twitter at Sithlord3827. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Come check it out.
He tweets. Sometimes he beats. Sometimes he
That
eats.
is correct.
Like
That is
today, he
correct.
wants-
Elihu, you mentioned your channel already, right, Eli?
Yes, I did.
All right. So with that being said, guys, I do want to appreciate everybody that came in and watched. You know, we had a good turnout today. I do appreciate that. I want you guys to come and check out the OOC tomorrow, which is off our chest. Me and Roberto and whoever else wants to come on, Gaishka will be there. Maybe Donnie will be there. Maybe I'll send a link to Pickles. We'll see. You know, after his talk today, I think I'm going to distance myself from this guy right here, right now. But no, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Anybody's on Twitter right now for some odd reason. Anakin is trending on Twitter for some odd reason. Okay.
Thank you. Because
And
of
I'm
us.
sure it's
of
all your
course.
fault.
You're damn right. It's because of us, you know, Star Wars
Anakin,
talk.
great trend. Like, what the fuck?
That's how we do it. So yeah, guys, come check out OOC tomorrow. We're going to be taking like just pure chat questions, whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever you guys feel like you want to get off of your chest or anything like that, man. Just come through. We'll talk it with the panel. You guys know the channel, Bigger Ford Entertainment. Once again, I do appreciate everybody that has come and watched the streams. I appreciate everybody that's on the panel that comes and hangs out with me every Tuesday. You guys are actually the best, man. I do appreciate it. But with that being said, guys, we are out. Peace.